We are back again. For those that are new listeners, welcome to our show. For those that have been here, I know how we give it up, but we got to go through this thing. Welcome to Good Earners Reviewing The Sopranos, where we talk family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. We got a whole lot of shipments of chicken coming in next month. Tyson's chicken. I guess we can kiss that goodbye too, huh? Fellas, how y'all doing, man?
Doing all right, man. How y'all feeling, man? Spike Lou, how you doing? Did y'all eat?
Nah, man, I didn't eat, man. What?
You ain't eat? Spike, did you eat this evening?
I didn't eat this evening.
Oh man, I'm just wondering where Harpo's having his Sunday dinner.
I mean, what's
I'm his uncle, right? I'm his uncle.
Yeah. I'm entitled to know, right?
Right. I'm just wondering what's black for I grew up without a father. Where's your uncle at? Because I want to talk to the man of the house.
Hey. Oh shit!
That's just another day in the black community. No, all right, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do us like that. We got shout out to the black fathers, man. Fathers,
shout out. They around a lot. More than what you would think.
Yeah.
Based on public perception. I know. I'm just talking to everybody else out there.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we are here for another episode of Good Earners. As y'all know, before we get into it, we like to acknowledge the supporters of ours. One of the segments that I truly enjoy about our show. So to get into a few of them here, not too crazy, so it shouldn't take too long. But I said last week we would read one of Michelle's thoughts on an episode. So she had something last week, and I said I would read it here. So it's about Marco Polo. She said, "Hello, Good Earners. Some stray thoughts and observations on Marco Polo. Great acting from Edie Falco throughout Carmela's priceless facial expressions as Tony B. unsupervised, cold-eyed, shining twins proceed to drown lawn furniture and pee in the pool. Meadow crashes her busy kitchen and lazy Finn wants a towel. Carmela could have had a whole thing catered by Italianismo, if I'm saying that correct, but she reveals in her reputation as a great cook. Her oven is rocking as she grates expensive cheese." There's more here, but I'm going to cut it short here. And the reason I'm going to cut it short here, Michelle, is because we appreciate like some insight and things like that, but we already do a review. And I don't want to really honestly be honest with you. I don't want to read a review from somebody else. I'm sorry. It's way too long of a, I'm sorry. I read the last two episodes. It's just too long. It's like you're giving all of
Why did you wait though? Why did you start reading? Why did you do that?
I was trying to figure out, was I going to float it? And I was just like, I'll be honest with you. I just don't. And it's not no diss to you, Michelle. It's just we already do a review. Going back into your thoughts of it, it's dope that you had these thoughts, but it's maybe you could be a guest on the show and we can share some conversations at some point once we're done reviewing it. But I'm not going to read the whole review after we did two and a half, 3 hour review. I'm sorry. It don't make sense.
That was wild. That was wild. You're a wild dude, man.
What, man? I'm keeping it a B. Like, what?
But you usually should do that before you start reading. Like,
well, I still.
That was mad disrespectful.
I want to show love. I show love. Like I gave a look.
That was mad disrespectful though. You got halfway through, like, man, fuck this. I ain't finna read this shit. Man, listen, you is crazy. You a wild dude.
Hey, don't listen to these guys, Michelle. Please return. Keep hitting us with stuff. Oh, man. Keep hitting us with stuff. Don't think that we're douchebags. You know what I'm saying? But it's just.
Why would she hit you back with some shit? Why would she?
Bro, she gave us 3 episode reviews. I read 2 out of the 3 last week, and they were really lengthy.
That makes it worse, bro. That makes it even worse.
That's why I'm trying to be patient with it, but it's one of those things where unless you have like an insight into a bar or something, like a whole episode breakdown after we did 2.5 hours, it's like, come on. Sorry. I mean,
thank you,
respectfully,
Michelle.
But thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate you.
Michelle.
Me and Spike appreciate you, Michelle.
Yeah.
You know what? I should forward to y'all. Y'all read it. Y'all want to read it? Because I don't want to read it. I'm sorry. It's not her. It's just it's a lot to read, bro. I ain't
we the rappers. He the DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
That's a classic.
I'm weak.
Yeah, we gotta.
Mo looked at the rest of that
Mo
sheet like, man,
different,
fuck this.
Y'all
He
know
said,
how.
"Fuck."
Y'all know how it is.
It's so many things that make that funny. It's so many because one is that's her third email, and on the third one,
fourth email.
You decided now. You decided, and this ain't the first time you looked at the email. You knew how long it was.
No, but I was back and forth about it. Like I dealt with it in real time. And in real
all right,
time,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick before you move on to the next one.
Yeah,
there's one last question.
Damn.
When you started reading that email, was your intention to read the whole thing?
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, these guys! Let's see. This is not supposed to be funny, you guys. Come on, you guys. Why are you laughing at me?
And you stopped the paragraph in like in real time. It was like,
if y'all, I'll
ladies
say
and gentlemen,
y'all be like, yeah, I would have read it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that in real time is when somebody be like, fuck that, man. I ain't doing this shit. I ain't doing that. That was the blackest shit. That might have been the blackest shit you ever done on this podcast.
Michelle, please.
That may be the blackest thing you ever done on this podcast.
Oh,
that was some black shit, right?
Look at him. Like look at him. Y'all know niggas don't read. No, I'm just playing.
Oh man, no, I'm over here sweating. I'm crying. Yo, what the fuck?
Let me say this because I'm the one that was reading it. So Michelle Malbray, please, if you're still listening to the pod, is I genuinely mean with no disrespect. It's just one of those things. We podcast for 2.5 hours or so. So giving like a review and some thoughts, it's dope. But just give us the quick points. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Any listener, give us some stuff or give us some insight on something. But like, I'm not gonna read your whole review, and that's respectfully. And it ain't no disrespect to nobody. So that's why I believe it. What, man? I'm being like this. Ain't no. I'm being for real. Oh
that's what makes it funny. You're dead serious though. And that God damn, you funny as hell.
See, I'm not. Y'all making me sound worse. I'm not trying to be that way.
No, you did that by yourself.
You gotta see how funny it is.
I'm not. I didn't do it by myself. Y'all adding to it. Y'all putting sauce on it.
Hey, we ain't putting sauce on it, bro. Because you was literally like, yeah, you had all the emails laid out, and you started. You was like, man, I ain't fuck this, bro. I ain't about to get through this shit.
I'm gonna go on the clock out. I'm gonna
clock out, bro. Like, I'm sure some listeners appreciate, like, oh yeah, thank you for saving time. But anyway, let's keep it moving. We got a comment from YouTube on our last episode, unidentified black male from Suzuki. He says, I've watched 2 minutes of your channel and I'm getting the feeling that I came in at the start. The best is still to come. So shouts out to, I'm on Suzuki.
Nice show reference there.
Yeah, man. I definitely appreciate that.
I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, run them old ones.
Thanks for keeping it short brief, so Mo can read it.
Mo ain't gonna be able.
Oh man, they about to cook now. Oh goodness. Our next, we got
hey, Michelle. Michelle Smith.
Y'all gotta watch it too, because he made a face and everything though when he decided to stop. It was like a realization hit him. It was like, man,
that's what makes it funny. I saw it in real time. In real time, I saw him
y'all
make the
know
decision.
How it is though when you read somebody say, "Hey, yo, check this out," and then they'll send you something to read, and it's this long thing to read, like to a site or something. You be like, bro, I'm not. You get it, like start reading.
That's like the infamous. It's like the infamous long text message. I'm quick to send back like I ain't reading
okay.
Yeah,
but just respond okay.
Bro, okay is
okay.
Yeah, okay, I guess that was my okay. I'm sorry. That was definitely that. But yeah, that's the version.
And you responded in like 30 seconds, so they know you ain't read that shit.
Everybody say, yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll at least fake it out.
I ain't about to do none of that shit. Like, I want you to know I ain't reading that. I want you to know.
I'll hit that thumbs up on it quick.
Yeah, that thumbs up. That thumbs up, I might have to pull up on you.
That'll take care of it.
I had to pull up on you. You hit me with thumbs up, I'll pull it up on you.
After a long paragraph, thumbs up.
All right, I'm out. I got it out my system, man. Go ahead. That shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious.
So Bricks V hit us on Instagram. He hit us with a comment on the episode. He says, another great episode. Still listening. And yeah, Spike and Rich are 100% because Finn lacked assertiveness. And Mo might have cracked the case of what it is with him paying for the family dinner, which I think he's alluding to, like how his confidence was broke. From that point, he couldn't make any more. If y'all listen back to the episode, y'all know what we're referring to. Like, I think it really broke Finn, where everything at that point he second guessed and he never got his mojo back or whatever. But Shouts out to Bricks V, man. A faithful. He been on the road with us for a while, man. Yeah, Bricks V.
My guy.
Yeah,
shout out to Bricks.
Yeah, our New Jersey Italian connection. Chris Falone hit us. He said, just finished the episode, man. Top notch as always. Can't believe no one picked. You walk around like butter wouldn't melt in your mouth. For that being the best line. That was mine for sure. I say it to my wife all the time. Shouts out to Chris. I ain't got that bold yet, but that's definitely a line I would like to use on my wife. Like, you act like butter.
We know Chris' wife not black.
Yeah. I gotta find a funny way to do it though. You can't. That ain't no serious line to get off. We got another comment on YouTube. I think this is our listener. That's the Japanese American listener that was a part on Dead End at some point. Kaiori the Okapi responding to our last episode. He says, the more I tune into the show, the more I realize Johnny Sack is my favorite character of the series.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Yes, sir. He says, so many great quotables like, what is this, the UN now? And when they go, come on now.
When they go.
that was come crazy. On. It's so sad when they go. Like, yeah, that was good. A few more and we're getting out of here on that.
It was payback for that whore he was fucking.
Bruh.
Lorraine Caluso.
So there was a person on YouTube we referred to last week that we said we appreciated her thoughts. Somebody came to our defense, and ironically, it happened to be a black guy. And so after she hit us with the "you people," he came in and he says, "You seem to be the only one with their feelings hurt over it about the black perspective." She comes back and she says, "My feelings aren't hurt. Just speaking facts, dude. Doing that only really just adds the divisive tone to whatever you're saying. If you ask me, you don't see Asians, Hispanics, Italians, Native Americans constantly making everything about race and injecting it into every facet of everything they say." Then he comes back. He said, "This is a podcast, though. I don't see anything wrong or causing division by presenting a Sopranos podcast as that. Add to the fact this show is constantly making jokes about black people, and it's hard to find any black people to talk about the show. I think it's interesting to have 3 black men talk about this." And then she finished it, said, "Fair enough. Thanks for being civil and polite." So I do think that was dope how it ended. It didn't get crazy. And shouts out to him for stepping in our honor. So that was dope. Lastly, something I missed a grip ago. I didn't even know you could do this. On Spotify, you can leave comments. So y'all can leave comments over there too. And y'all didn't hit us up on that poll, who's a better friend, Rosalie or Gabby. So y'all can hit us up on that. But it was 3 months ago. I don't know who this listener was. But there's a few things they said. We said, "What do you think about the episode?" They said, "You're flexing." Then another one, they said, stop giving up so many spoilers. You're pretty much saying Jackie Jr. is going to get whacked. This is my first watch. And then last one, thanks for spoiling that Charmaine and Artie will get back together. Bruh.
That's not really, who cares?
They didn't even do that in the, they done that subtly in the show. Like, if we didn't point it out, you might not have noticed they broke up.
And these were all from season 3, for the record. So this is like, again, a grip ago. But yeah, shouts out whoever that is. Shouts out to them for doing that. I mean, we do our best to not spoil. Like, we've done the best that we can to make your first experience as dope as it can be. But it's going to be what it is. What are you going to do? So, but that is all that we have for this episode. And speaking of this episode, Spike Lou, what are we reviewing today?
Mo, this is season 5, episode 10, titled Cold Cuts. And here, man, Johnny's irritations start to build as he hears rumors about Tony B. Still. Janice adventures as a soccer mom lead to her anger management classes. Chris starts to get jealous of his cousin, and Tony sends them on a mission to clean up some old cans of peaches. This is season 5, episode 10, entitled Cold Cuts.
We jump right in. The scenes kind of fly coming right in. You get like 5 scenes in like a couple of minutes. But we jump right into a quick scene. It's a night scene on the docks, and these guys are waiting for the Vespa scooters, and they have to keep waiting, and nobody ever comes with the Vespa scooters at that time. Anything I want to add to that scene?
I just want to say something real quick.
Yep.
Shout out to Terry Doria, one of the men here in this scene, as one of my favorite Sopranos moments of all time. through all the episodes in the entire series. Terry Doria, who was the one that says, "I'm calling Carlo," has one of my favorite Sopranos moments in season 6. It has something to do with borrowing money.
Okay. All right. He's still around. All right.
Yeah, one of my favorite. Like, that's what, real quick, that's what makes The Sopranos great, right? Because this character, most people have watched this 4 or 5 times, don't even know dude's name. I don't even know if it's really mentioned that much in the show. But they give every single character, big or small, some small piece of the show to where you remember them for. It's very distinctive. He has a very distinctive moment in season 6, and it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, you got to remind me off here if
I got you.
All right. We go to the next scene. Tony and Johnny are talking. Tony is confused by why nothing was picked up at the port Newark. They're having this conversation, and pretty much Billy finishes his car. He got to roll out, and Johnny getting it off right here. What do y'all think about this scene? Because I'm like, oh, here we go. We get into it. What y'all think about this?
Yeah, this is the thick of it, man. This is like, we talk about, there's like several different seasons or within the seasons of The Sopranos, and this is the you hopping on a brand new interstate right here. Like, it's a brand new shit finna play out. New York is irritated, if not hostile, and you got to see how Tony gonna handle this. So yeah, this is dope.
I like, this is in contention for one of the best lines of the episode. Johnny has a drop the mic moment when he's in the Mozzie, and he says a lot of things didn't happen that seemed like they happened. Bruh. That is a fire line. Like your cousin killing Joey Peeps. Bruh. Like, come on. Like, I love when niggas do that. Like, oh yeah, so you gonna lie to my face like I'm ignorant, right? Like, I'm stupid. Okay. Well, let me do the same thing with you. I ain't seen the Vespa scooters. Like, bruh. Come on.
I talked about it last week. How when I gave Johnny Sack the Broken Balls Award, because I'm like, the reason I gave it to him is because he knows people are playing in his face, but he can't prove it yet. So now we just returning the favor. Now I'm gonna play in y'all face. Same way y'all can't prove I took these Vespas. Oh well, figure it out.
Did y'all think it was interesting that Tony brought Benny with him?
Not really. That's a small. We getting some Vespas. Like, I need you to. Okay. Benny was the same dude that was with Chris to set up Feach. Like, you look like that's probably his role. Like, stolen goods, moving them from one point A to point B. He's probably involved in all of that. He probably coordinates that stuff. So it
moving
really
up.
Shocked me. Yeah,
it's showing that he's moving up too. Yeah.
Okay, you're right, because I mean it does make sense later when one of y'all favorite scenes. Obviously don't want to spoil anything. But one of y'all later favorite scenes is he was definitely getting in that big dog position or whatever. So that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, Johnny again says tight security because of Al Qaeda. Like, just getting it off. Hey, gotta go. He just like I love like Johnny Sack getting it off, man. This actor he's really good. We go to Janice at a soccer game, and she's there with Bobby's kids. She's trying to step into the stepmom role, and it's good to see a soccer game. We ain't seen soccer since season 1, so it's good to see that. I thought that was cool. So much is
when the coach was on some freaky shit.
Yeah, he definitely
some sick shit.
Yeah. Definitely was a why are you around?
Yeah, why are you around? Got a weird case,
man. What did y'all think about this scene? Because I definitely got a lot from this scene.
Just real quick, what y'all think about old girl thinking she could really like work with Janice? That's what surprised me the most. Like, she ain't back down from it. Like, you really thought how you think this was gonna end?
Well, I think
she thought the push was gonna be enough.
Yep.
She thought the push was, she didn't know Janice was gonna take it there. She probably like this well-off Jersey house mom. She thinks she's like the white people. She's a firecracker. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready for what Janice was gonna bring to the door. Like, I just think she just underestimated the situation, because she usually probably can get that off. You could tell by how she was carrying herself, like how she was yelling at the kids and the shit she was saying. She'll get that off. She probably would have got that off with anybody but Janice out there in that crowd.
Nah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
Bro, Janice is that one where you in the hood or you whatever, this chick that keep getting at you for real. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna have my sister put them hands on you. Janice is that sister, bro. Like that's the first thing I thought about. I said, oh, you got the wrong one. This is Janice Soprano. Like, nigga, you got the whole wrong. And I was trying to keep it PG. Like, she really was keeping it cool. Like, hey. Like, they're all in the thick of it, but like, yo, chill. Like, don't be naming my child out by number. Like, bro. Because, dog, as a parent, nigga, this was real. I was riding for Janice all the way through. Nigga, I promise you. I was like, nah. You got the game messed up. Hey, you need to chill
Your daughter
out,
play sports, Mo?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But like, if you think I've been at games or whatever, like, come on, number 8, come on, like, that's cool, but like, don't call out my child's number in any capacity or any, So I'm like, bro, when she was like, hey, like, there's something specific that was said, and I was just like, bro, come on, like, don't even do that. Like, focus on your child, and your child been hacking and fouling the whole game. But I ain't saying that to your child. Don't say anything about my child. That's why she like, and then it's that overzealous parent that's like, hey, bro, take it down a little bit. It's cool to be excited because you work with your kid, you taking them to practices, but like, bro, chill. You going too crazy right now, and that's what Janice was. It's like, dog, you better take it down a notch, bro. Like, I get it, we supporting the kids, but bro, chill. She's definitely getting her Silvio Dante on when he was trying to fight the referee in season 1. Like, but she took, but Janice took it there, like, bro, nope. Which is interesting that she's riding for these kids that she almost seemed like she disliked last season, right?
I think she's grown closer to him. They've shown that. Well, they showed that she thinks that anyway. Mm-hmm. You can see like the bond that she has with him.
Yeah, they talk about that this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess
wonder did she go to Harpo's games?
Harpo ain't had the making of a varsity athlete.
Boy, he had the makings of a varsity mother either. We go to the next thing. The boys are at the Bing. Tony talks to the fellas about Johnny getting the Vespas. Seal picks up that something is going on between Tony and Johnny from the funeral. Obviously, we seen that little moment that was happening or whatnot. And then Carm calls Tony about Janice. Anything y'all want to add to this scene right here?
Just thought it was real slick how Silvio threw it in there on the humble. Mm-hmm. Like, ever since the funeral, you and John had that talk, whatever that was. Like, I know, like, that's his way of saying I peeped. And ever since then, shit been weird. So what's really going on? Like, y'all got some kind of beef going on that's causing issues for other people. That's the biggest thing. This is a bigger thing than just Tony. Now it's affecting the whole crew. Carlo makes a lot of bread and butter off of those Vespas. Other people have other things that they have coming in that could be affected. So, it's bigger than just trying to protect Tony B. If the longer I protect him, the more my business is going to suffer and the people underneath me going to suffer. So Tony's starting to see the effects of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. But he sends Benny out to like, yo, go find out what's up. Did they get the Vespas or not? So, he sends him out to do that. And of course, like I said, Tony gets a call, about Janice. This the only time we see Carmela this episode, right? No. There's a later scene.
Yeah.
All right. Good. As much as we give Carmela flack, I do like seeing her though. I definitely like seeing her. Tony.
This whole scene crazy.
Tony watches the news, but it's just the way Jimmy James Gandolfini acts. Like his face, he is so confused and in disgust. Like his face is like, bro, it's so funny how he's looking at that screen. Like, what? Are you serious? And then
can't believe it,
bruh. Then the reporters come on and they're reporting the whole thing. And this speaks to the end at the end concept because even the reporters are looking at the mafia like a joke. Even though real things are happening still. They're making
jokes and shit. Yeah.
So what did y'all think about this scene? The whole setup, Tony watching it. Of course, we know it transitions smoothly to the next scene, but what did y'all think about this whole thing?
I know my man Jacket was wild. My man that was reporting the news, that was a big ass jacket with the shoulder pads and shit. Like he had on one of James Gandolfini jackets. But this was hilarious how Tony took in the information, like you mentioned, Mo. Great face acting, getting in at the end of it. That was a great pickup too, as well. How they kind of making light of the situation, and even how they trace Janice back to Tony. Like they had to do a little digging for that because she ain't got the same last name as him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting as well. But other than that, just Janice gonna do Janice, bro.
And Janice working her on the news too, nigga.
And she ran from the police.
Huh?
She ran from the police.
Bruh, like dog. Like, dude, and then they tackled her down. Like, dude, this is so extreme. Godly, Janice.
But it's on brand.
It is on brand, which we'll get to that next scene. But nah, just the soccer witness protection, like soccer mom witness protection or whatever, like, or soccer protection, whatever they were saying. Like, they had some really good one-liners, bro. I guess you can call that a mob hit. Like,
yeah, mafia related hit. Like Tony's, you said it, Mo, the facial expressions, the expression acting from James Gandolfini. He can't believe that this is his life right now. I can't believe what I'm seeing on the TV. Like, because it pertains to me. Like, it just, it's like it's something leaked from your camp. If you're a famous person,
yeah,
or something leaked from your camp, and only like 5 people knew it. Like, how the fuck did this get out? Like, what's going on? He's sick, and then like, of course, the psychiatrist comes on, and that's what really sets him off.
Bruh.
It's talking about how like any moment of inconvenience can trigger any kind of illicit response, and immediately he got mad, started cursing out, and then drove over. You're not mad, you got to be to get up, and I'm driving over here. He tried to get into Bobby's house, like didn't knock nothing. He was turning the doorknob, like he was just about to cool walk in there because Janice knows better. Shit's crazy, man.
Well, we'll jump right into that scene, but one more thing I want to add to this scene is, I mean, sorry, it's just the face. Every time I look at it, I'm like, bro, but it's like, all right, you know what? I'll save it. We'll keep going. So Tony, like you said, Tony pulls up on Janice and Bobby. This is funny that we'll get to the quote that you had brought up a while back, Rich, that it's finally come to life here. But Tony goes back and forth with Janice, and she says, she lucky I didn't kill her. Yeah, we know that. Oh my God. Bruh.
And Bobby like, what?
Bruh. Like, dude, because it's like, stop dropping bars on. First, we're talking blowing roadies. Then we're talking, that's what I wanted to say. I remember now. Sorry, I lost track last scene. I do feel like bringing the psychologist on for like kind of a local news thing was a little bit of a reach. I'm sorry. It just felt like it was a reach for the narrative that they wanted to create. It made for gold television as far as where we get the mic drop at the end of the episode. But to me, it felt like a reach. Like, you're talking about a psychology of anger when you're talking about a soccer mom fighting another soccer mom. It just felt like a reach. I'm sorry. Like, that one thing.
For your local TV station, I agree with you. Yeah, if it was like some kind of CNN report, maybe, but for your local shit, that seems. Y'all had time to set up a camera with this nigga and get his views on.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just another rat to y'all. Like, come on. But anyway, so what did y'all think about this scene? A lot of back and forth, a lot of interesting parts of this Tony, Bobby, and Janice interaction. A lot of layers there. What do y'all think? What was this?
I personally love how. Well, for one, let me ask y'all this: if you Bobby, Tony just walking in your crib like that, just taking over. I know we ain't got the Sopranos home videos yet, but I don't know, man. Mo, just think about this, Mo. Just think about this for a second, Mo.
Daughter, though.
Yeah, is that something you just prepared for? You just got to take that.
I think
he the boss.
I think you sign up for that when you dating the boss daughter.
Well, and
I'm cool with anywhere else, but it's something about my crib. It's something about being able to come to my crib and have access like that to where you just barging in. I know, and I'm self-aware enough to know that this is a sibling thing. This isn't you disrespecting my house. This is you being pissed at your sister, rightfully so. But I feel like there should be some kind of etiquette there. I'm not expecting it to happen, like, which is why Bobby probably doesn't push back on it. But it's more so just one of those like, damn. But overall, as far as the scene goes, I love how Tony comes in. Just kind of wants to make sure everything's set straight. Like, my name, my reputation, everything about me is in the news right now because you can't keep your shit together. Like, Bobby, I told you to get her shit right. I told you to make sure you keep an eye on her. You're not doing that. So now I got to come over and I got to bang on doors and I got to cuss out my sister because nobody over in this household knows how serious this is.
Mm-hmm.
Your actions can result in my name getting mentioned on the news. You know how bad that is for what we do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's terrible. Like, you ain't even married. You got a whole ass husband and they still linking you to me.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, my favorite part of this scene was he's hot, he's mad, he's going off. But before he leaves, he stops and like takes a breath and he looks and says, "This ends now." It's kind of like that. I'm serious. Like, I know y'all think I'm pissed off and this is a one-off, but I want to make sure I tell y'all with a calm voice. Y'all look at my face and know how serious I am. Like, this shit ends now. Like, I better not hear not another word about this shit.
Mm-hmm. What's that you say?
And I'm looking at Bobby to tell him that too. Like, this ends now. I'm looking at you to make sure that you know the repercussions of this. It ain't just her no more. I'm including you in this. Yeah, he approached this like, Rich, what you said was great. Why do I have to come over here and do this? Like, Bobby, you should have been at her ass before I was. Like I had to come over here and lay down the law. So, as he said when they walked outside, control your wife. And I do think that he respected Bobby for not flipping out too. Like, Bobby gave some sort of realization that he understood how serious this was, which is why he took back, "I don't give a fuck," when he was talking about the kids. Like, when he said he took that back because you see, okay, he's handling this fairly well based off everything that this man just ran at my house and yelled at my wife and chased her around the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's essentially what happened. But I think after he took that breath, like Rich said, he was able to collect himself, understand who Bobby was, and probably how wild this would have got if Bobby wasn't that type of person. And then he told him, like, "Look, man, you need to take care of this shit. And this is the only time that I'm telling you that I appreciated this."
This is something that if we kind of watch closer or just kind of create a through line from here to Soprano home movies, maybe we can kind of pick up that emotion a little bit, like kind of the historical element of this, right? Because we already know the last time they had the Blue and Roadies, situation, them two kind of scuffling it out a little bit. And then, then he said, "Control your wife. You want responsibility." There's one right there. And then we got this moment. So we could probably kind of start to build some layers of Soprano home movies when we get what happens there, for not spoiling for nobody.
Hey, Bobby said, "Next time there'll be no next time."
I'm the captain now.
I will say that is a classic moment.
And I think that was really good. Well, it may be skipping to the scene, but when he goes and he talking to her, like,
we can go right into
the reason why Bobby is one of my favorite characters is because of the subtle respect that he does get from the other characters. Like, he ain't got to get out of context. He ain't got to get like loud. Well, he did get loud here, but it stays within his character of who he is. Like, you never seen him doing no wild shit to get respect, and people usually subject to that. Like Tony did when they were outside, and even Janice, he was telling her, like, "Bitch, this shit ain't gonna work. Like, we ain't finna do this. Like, this over with. If this is what you think is finna continue to happen," and she respected that shit. She went and done what she was going to. Like, if Tony had told her to go to anger management, she would have laughed at him. But in efforts to try to make sure that she kept her word to Bobby, she did that shit.
I did love that though. Just, I know we talk about that. I don't give a F. Okay, I give a F. Like, but like, just
hold on. Can I step in? Let's do the emphasis.
Do it right.
Do the emphasis. I don't give a fuck. All right, I do give a fuck.
There it is. That's the line.
One of my favorite Sopranos lines.
Because it is so, like, it's one of those real time things where you realize what you said in the moment, and then you realize, okay, I'm jumping out there a little bit.
Well, it's Tony, and here's the thing about it: it's Tony catching himself, but it's not him being untrue to himself. Tony doesn't give a fuck. He really doesn't, but he cares enough about Bobby to at least cover it up.
Because Bobby turned his face.
I'm at least act like I do.
Because Bobby turned his face like, damn.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, like, I'm doing this because out of respect for you. I don't care what the relationship between Janice and your kids are. Really, it doesn't change my day at all. Yeah, it does not matter 1 second. But I care that you think that I care. So I'm gonna pretend that I care.
Pretty much, yeah. And I love that Bobby's such a lover that he said, but I know all this happened, but on the other side, she called Sophie her daughter. Like, I just love how much that meant to him. It took him a while to get over the loss of his wife, and so just a year's time has passed, and now she's his wife, and now she's trying to build towards that, and she rode for it at the end of the day. And I appreciated that loving element from Bobby when it came to his kids and what that meant. So
I also, just real quick, I love when you know something about a person, it's cool and shit like that, but now it's reached this point, like, yo, I really got to consider whether or not I can be here and be with you in this capacity if you're gonna continue like that. That shit was cool, but it seems like it's getting worse. Like I can deal with certain aspects of it, and unless you've been in a situation like that, unless you dated someone who had like a certain trait that you probably told yourself I can never live with, you do it for a little while, but then overall it's like, all right, this is too much. Like I ain't. You got to go get some help. You got to do the shit the right way, or we got to end this. Because Bobby was dead ass serious, and that's one of my favorite facial expressions when he kind of gave that look like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like nigga, like it's almost like when Paulie and Goodfellas looked at Henry and said, "Now I got to turn my back on you." Like nigga, there's everything I said I could, I've done. Like I can't do nothing no more.
Yeah.
Bobby said, "Shit, go to anger management, or that's it."
Yeah, I mean, he said, bro, before you got here, I mean, I'm keeping it a bean. This was a nice house.
Yeah, shit was nice over here, bro, man. You got this shit fucked up.
You got it messed up. You got it toxic up in here. You loud. You got anger problems. You going crazy, yelling at my kids and not letting them get, Tahitian treats and Hawaiian punches. Like, bro, like it was different. And even then, she still jabbed back, which this is so consistent with her being Tony's sister, where it's like, she's like, he says, I think you should see an anger specialist. And she said, I think you should see a weight loss specialist. It's like still getting off. Like, I don't know. That was just funny to me. But I love that. Yeah, but I love that. I said, man, come on, Bobby. Have some balls, bro. But even though we have to say, though, Tony's bugging for thinking that a person like Bobby could control his sister. Like, come on, bro.
No, I think he did a good job of controlling her, though.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in anger management.
No, I think it worked, but I think she realized that all of the cons that she's done prior with like a Richie, with a Ralphie, she realized, okay, this one could stick. He's got some reach, she got some clout, and this one makes the most sense. Let me not mess this up, because she's been dying to get.
That's part of controlling her, though, right? Like he made her subside to like, I don't want to fumble this. Like Bobby presents himself as like a stand-up good guy. She ain't trying to fumble that after dealing with Ralphie and Richie. So that helps in his control of her. Like the threat was, I'm going to leave. I ain't got a threat to hit you. I ain't got to beat you up. Like the threat and how you control is, I'm a hell of a nigga. So you need to step your game up if you're going to be around.
Fair enough. You make a great point. I think I concede on that. They're at the casino above the hardware store, which is obviously Tony Blundetto's new racket that, cousin Tony Soprano gave to him. I'm glad that they gave us that look, which is kind of, it seemed weird to have a casino above a hardware store, but it looks like they got the windows blacked out. Did y'all notice that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a legal casino.
Yeah, probably like a little racket. It's like a gambling house.
Yeah,
like his gambling houses around. Yeah,
you got to keep them. You got to keep them low key. You want it in a place like that.
Yeah, it was a couple spots I know in Nash. Yeah, like niggas go play cards all day. Like it's just a random looking ass building. You would think ain't nothing in there. Niggas end up playing poker and shit all day, shooting dice.
The gambling spot. Omar robbed Marlo in a place like that in The Wire.
Same thing. Yep, when he took his ring from him.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, these spots exist, man.
Okay.
Every city.
And this is an upscale one too.
Yeah, because it looked legit too. I was like, this is all right.
Yeah, it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
You ain't just walking in there on a Friday night. You ain't stumbling into that. That's reference. You got to know somebody to get in there.
That's a fact. But we see Chris and Paulie talk about how much they think Blundetto clears. It's about $2,500 a night. Woo. 25
hating ass niggas right there, boy.
Hey, who wouldn't be? $2,500 a night, bro.
That's minimum.
I mean, but
25 to 5 G's.
Ooh, and I don't know how many nights this is open, bro.
Pay some haters. So you been sitting there and talking about that.
Chris,
y'all niggas been out of jail. Y'all niggas have been out of jail forever. Y'all could have had records like this. Don't get mad at me because I'm being presented with this opportunity. Nigga, I've been locked up for 10 years.
But Blundetto didn't really earn.
No, man, I've been locked up for 10 years. Okay, I did my time for this family. Then put y'all sitting over here hating. Y'all niggas been out 10 years and y'all ain't got no records.
And put Chris in that spot and give him Chris's
Why would I put Chris in that spot?
Because he's a made guy. This nigga not even made. You're a street nigga at this point. You ain't really one of them dudes. I'm giving you that off the merit, but you skip over Paul, you skip over Chris. It really don't make sense, bro. Nah, bro. Like you going to jail for you didn't.
He was owed that, bro. That's how Tony looking at it in this fight. I feel like he deserved that. He was owed that.
He's owed.
Y'all niggas been out here. Y'all been living free for the last 10 years and been able to earn all of these type of hustles that I haven't. I'm just getting back. Y'all niggas hating already? Golly, imagine when I turn up on you.
Nigga,
Like,
we out here, bro. Come on, nah. All right, I get where you coming from.
Them niggas was some haters.
I would be too. I'd be the biggest hater.
That's crazy.
Nigga, I've been out here really dodging, almost dying, getting killed. Like I heard, like, bro, come on. Like I really been out here.
That's crazy.
What did Paulie say? We give you more credit for staying out of the can, nigga. Huh?
Look, that ain't what happened though. What happened is I took the bid. I've been fucked up for a minute. I'm out. I'm struggling. Y'all wasn't trying to help. Y'all seen it. My cuz came through. He gave me the big dog deal. Like, y'all niggas get over it. Y'all some haters, man.
Nah, man, whatever.
Niggas some haters. Go get you some money.
Paulie is what it is. Paulie's not really confident enough, but I mean, well, I will say.
And anytime I'm agreeing with Paulie, I know I'm hating. If I'm Chris should have checked himself right there.
Nah, but I love Paulie's energy.
He was hating on me. He was hating on me not too long ago. So I know if I'm in agreement with this nigga, I'm a hater.
Bro, I love how Paulie said it though. He was just like, "Oh, that used to be you. Now you see how I feel, nigga."
In the words of Rodley Freeman from the Boondocks. So that's why you don't get no money. That's why you don't get no bitches. Because you hate.
Because you hate. Like, and that's why it's funny. Because and then Chris seems to forget when Paulie was in the can, how he had a whole crew and he had just been made. And remember how Patsy was looking at him crazy, like, "Hey, whoa, you gonna skip over me and give it to Chris?" And even Seal was like, "I don't know, bro. Chris shouldn't have been." So now you mad because he brought cousin Blundetto and let him get the spot. So I mean, to Spike's point, yeah, you shouldn't really be that upset, but like it's a part of Chris's ego thing, like, you know. I think Chris wants more credit. We'll talk later about from being sober. He wants more credit now because he's more focused because he's sober now. But I'll get more to that part when we get there. But anything else you want to add to this casino scene?
No,
that's it.
All right. We go to Chris and Adriana. It looks like they're, it looks like they're trying out cakes for the wedding, and while they're doing that, Tony and Blundetto pulls up on them, and pretty much Tony tells Chris that, like, you know, the body that he got, you got to go ahead and move that, and not only that, but you got to move. What was it, Johnny? Who was it?
Yeah, Johnny got a couple bodies up there too that could cause problems for Junior.
Okay, that's the part I couldn't quite make the connection on. I just made the whole connection. What did y'all think about this car scene?
I love that Chris asked, "How'd you find me?" I thought that was like a very interesting little tidbit that they dropped in there to let you know Chris had been out of the way. I'm planning my wedding. I'm sober. I ain't really been hanging with y'all niggas. Like, how you even know where I'm at at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday? Shout out to Entourage. But I just feel like this was a good scene in the sense of, one, showing that Chris had been out the way. Two, this shows the cousin bond a little bit too.
Yep.
Like, we all have this place that we had went to when we were young and all of these things. And we see it later in the episode as far as, you know, how it plays out. But I liked it. This was a good scene.
No matter how much I'm not fucking with y'all, we still family.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking with y'all. I'm salty. Like, Tony, y'all, I love the fact, to your point, Spike, Tony not answering him. Like, I told you to guess. You're not gonna guess. Like, fuck how I know. I'm the boss. I know where everybody is at all times.
Why would I not know where you at?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, we got to go up there and do some work. And Chris just on something. I'll do it myself. Nah, like, we got some extra stuff. Go ahead and let's get this knocked out. Plus, Tony B, like, I'm worried. Like, I want to go see him. Like, that's my uncle, man. I spent time up here. Let me go check on the old man before he moves to Florida. Like, just whether you want me to go or not, I'm headed up there, so I might as well help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the three of them this episode is real cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. This is where the Soprano writers really start to really connect the tissue for me. Like, they really are making that connection. Now I'm believing in, you know, certain element. I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna go back into the Steve Buscemi rant, but I am starting to believe the cousin element. And then I think they're doing all of the detail-oriented writing to really close that gap to make us believe it. There's still some things that feels a little kind of a stretch, and I'll jump right into the next scene. But I will say, in that scene, I love how thorough they are about that thing. Like, hey, we gotta go get them can of peaches. We need to move it here. Like, hey, like any kind of inkling of something, we gotta move them. Like, I love that because, you know, black gangsters and stuff in like TVs and depictions, like they don't always be that thorough when it comes to like a body or whatever. If they ain't throwing them in the river already, they not moving them like, oh nigga, they caught the, so I love that thoroughness. It's pretty dope.
You got Chris Partlow and Snoop fucked up.
Well, with the exception, there are exceptions to the rule, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, please. I will say this to go to Spike's point earlier as well. If you weren't sure if Chris was hating with Paulie, you could tell right now he was saying, I think your luck's been fucking great. And listen to you cursing it out. Like, damn, you got something you want to say?
Getting it
right there. What's up, bro?
Get that off your chest.
Cause y'all know how that is when somebody like you could tell they slightly hating, like, dang, bro, look like you doing all right for yourself, huh? You just moved on without us, huh? Like they start giving you them little subtle, like, all right, bro, what you trying to say, man?
And that's what I don't like.
No that's the favorite one of niggas exactly. do. You don't fuck with us no more.
Yeah, you doing big things now. All right. Yeah,
and that's what pisses me off when somebody approaches you and says, you got something you want to say? You got something to get off your chest?
Say
and then they don't take the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm all right, man. Just holler at me. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like get out of here. Don't ever bring that shit up.
Right. Mm-hmm. Take a stupid gift with you too.
Yeah, say it now. Hey, say that shit now, or don't ever bring this shit up ever again.
Stand on that shit. Yeah, stand on it.
Bro, that's funny. So we get to Chris and Adriana, and he's packing up for the trip. We get some great insight and information in this scene that again ties in that connection of the two Tonys and Chris. We find out when they're like 8 years older than him, based on the story he told. He says that he got picked on. What? That doesn't agree with the timeline of Many Saints of Newark. Okay, that's
because Tony's in high school and Chris is a baby in Many Saints of Newark.
David Chase, you should have watched The Sopranos again, bro.
Yeah, because remember he goes over the crib.
Because if he's in high school, he's at least 16. At
least at that age, even if he's a sophomore, 15,
the way he
16
looked in
years
that
older.
movie, he at least 16.
Either way, it ain't 8.
It definitely ain't 8.
If Chris was a toddler in Many Saints of Newark, then all right, you can sell me. But nah, that nigga's a baby. Like, yeah, fresh, yeah. So
dang, bro, that's crazy. That guy.
Yeah, that's a good pull right
there. Yeah, that's why I said. So when
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, they were like 19 or whatever, and I was like, what do you say, 13 or what not? When
it was 11. There's something about
11. Okay.
11 and yeah, they were 19.
Okay. So but he said he tells a story about their Uncle Pat having the hiccups for a year. And
which is not funny, man. He almost killed himself.
They almost killed himself. Like, and I said, bro, no, that is depressing though. Like, nigga, it's funny, like just the idea that they wrote this, whoever wrote this in there, but the idea of having the hiccups for real for a year, bro. I could not imagine trying to go to sleep and you're hiccuping, trying to get up and you're like, bro, everything you're having sex and hiccuping. Everything you do is a hiccup. Like, bro, that is depressing, dog. I swear,
yeah.
Like I was like, man, that's rough for real.
Yeah, that is something probably to make you want to kill yourself.
Yeah, for real. Like, and we ain't trying to be
a year straight of that.
Yeah, that is one of those things. It's like, dang, when is it going to end? Anything else y'all want to add to this scene? I love the whole setup.
Yeah, Chris a bitch ass nigga, man. Like, get over that shit, nigga. Shut up.
I'm gonna get there. Like,
yeah, nigga, you was a little cousin. That's how you get dead. Like, come on, bro. Like, why are you complaining about? You complaining about stuff that like you have to naturally go through, like just coming up as a man. He even did this shit when he was complaining about paying for the meals and shit. Like, you know how this shit goes. Why do you think you special? Why you think you don't got to go through any of this haze and shit? Mm-hmm. Like, it happened. This is how this life is built, and I don't like how he was bitching through this. And it's like you said earlier, Mo, he's looking for this reward for being sober. Mm-hmm. Like, all this shit is hitting him as he's sober, and he's looking for this reward that he never gets from it. Mm-hmm. Shut your bitch ass up and play the drums, nigga.
Sit and play the drums, nigga.
Bitch ass up and play the
drums. Shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. That's good. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't mention how good Adriana looked, bro. She is looking good. Like butter right now, baby. Listen to me. Turn your radio down. It's the late night talk with Mo, and I gotta tell you about Adriana.
Getting into a radio routine is crazy.
That's insane. He practiced that.
No, I didn't. That's off the cuff. I freestyle. That's what I do. But nah, she was just
same way you freestyle Michelle's letter.
look, I love it. I love the callback. All right, these guys, friends like these.
Hey, he couldn't even look at that letter and summarize it. He was just like, "Fuck that!" It defeated him. And nigga, that letter kicked your ass.
When they go young.
When they go,
bro.
This nigga, hey,
was like, let me scan through it a little bit just to see what I could get out of this. That nigga just said, "Fuck that,
bro."
Hey, he looked at that letter and said, "Mumbo,
get out, get out." Had to skim through it, nigga. Skim through it. But Adriana, even coming back, like how Adriana again, like. She really loves Chris. She comes with the sentimental rub, like, yo, I don't like it when you're mad. She's just a beautiful woman. I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, I just love that, and she really tries to, and I respect her approach, trying to, hey, have you thought about maybe we should just leave? She's trying to get him out of there, like maybe we should just leave, and she's like, what can I do?
And go where? This was so stupid to me.
Hey Mo,
it makes sense for who Adriana is to me. Like she would try this, thinking that.
Listen, I'm a soldier, Adriana. Mm-hmm. When are you gonna understand that? I don't know how many other ways I can tell you who I am and what I do. Like this is what I do. I've been trying to. No matter how many times you try to convince yourself that I'm something else, I have to slowly remind you, this is my life. I've tried all this other shit. I've tried the writing. I've tried all that. I always come back to this. This is what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm a made man.
Yeah. It's like the regularness of life is too freaking hard for me or something. I don't know.
This reminded me of how close we were to calling our cars. Like they've been
you mean long-term parking?
Long-term parking.
Oh, yeah, we 2 episodes away.
That's what I've noticed that when I was looking, I was like, we've been real quiet with Adriana. That's why that episode was so impactful. Because they kind of they snuck it in there. Yeah. Like we're in the middle of a war with New York. We like all of this other shit is going on, and then they sneak that in there.
Last week when Mo asked, like, what was the point of the scene with the Fed? I'm like, just to remind us that shit's still going on.
Yeah.
We ain't seen it in a minute. We just need to know as viewers that is still going on. That's still hanging over Adriana's head.
And shout out to good point, Spike. And shout out to the Soprano writers, because you think about how layered they really made this season so far, and we'll speak to it on our last episode, but like of this season, like how layered it is. You're bringing home the class of 04, so you got all these new characters. You got to build them up. You know, now you got a New Jersey and New York war. Then you got Adriana's a snitch now. Then you got Feach is the enemy, and Feach is gone now. Like it's so.
Feach seems like a lifetime ago,
bro. That's what I'm saying.
That shit seems like that whole grass cutting and all of that seems like a lifetime.
Lifetime ago. Like, and then you got Tony and Carmela with their divorce element. Of like that whole thing still. Like I'm like, bro, the way they're going places, that's why it worked perfectly when they give us like the big twist for those that are first time watchers. There'll be a big twist, but like, man, so. Man, that was a great point you made right there, because it does like low key like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So which is what makes the ride enjoyable. But but he was just like, I love that. Like Rich brought up, I'm a soldier. Like this is all that I do well. Like I could maybe return to
like maybe you're confused on what I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Like that's the
she just ain't get it. Tony pulls up to the crib, man, ready. Got the shirt unbuttoned down to the fourth button. Got the towel on. Got a nice beer in his hand with a cigar. I'm about to get to it like I normally do. Bro, it gets heated at the fact that the pool is drained and the jacuzzi, bro.
It's a great one up by Carmela. Great one up by Carmela.
Down.
Carmela Soprano. I gotta
down.
Applaud for Carmela. I can't get you with the attorneys. I ain't got a bag like that, but here's what I do got. Hey, shout out to Carmela. She got a W, and this right here is a big dog move to me.
It's so petty though.
But she should have. Like what do I got?
I can't even be mad at it. I'd be hot if I was Tony,
for sure.
But I'd chuckle at it later. Like,
you got that.
She got me with that one.
Because remember, he took the radio out that joint. Like he took the speaker out of the theater room. Actually, I mean, it's his room, but still, it's like he took the theater. Like you knew we had a little. So it's a petty. It's just a petty thing. It's like you can feel it back up, Tony. Like it's not. You know, but like I just love.
It's I know how it's a remember. I still know how to piss you off.
Yep.
All that single shit is cool, but I still know how to push the button.
I got some. Like, yeah, they like, you.
And how she was acting about it, like, oh well, what do you mean? Like, I couldn't. Man, that was a fortune to pay the electricity bill. Like,
right. Like she was actually paying the bills. Like she's paying the bills.
Boy.
But it's like, what you thought this was? You thought you were gonna hit these cheeks and then just wave me off? Oh, okay, yeah, cool, got you. Like, come on, bro. That same pool we was doing that thing. Now ain't no water in that pool, huh? Hey, I respect that, Carmella. This type of petty. I love this from Carmella. Straight up, like that was cold blooded. Because that's all she had. She couldn't do much.
Were y'all shocked by Tony's approach, like going right into the neck when they go into the kitchen? Were you shocked that Tony handled it, like in the sense of, I'm upset, but I'm gonna still try to make conversation. I'm still trying to make light of this, because normally I think Tony would have stormed off. He stayed on some like, man, like, are we really at this point?
Right. I like how you handled that.
I did too, and I think it's just one of those realizations for Tony where it's like, it's one of those days because Tony, again, like the whole fuss for him is just like, bro, I didn't want this, even though I'm a dog, I'm a piece of dirt because I got Gumars and all of that. I didn't really want this, you know what I'm saying? Like, but so I think like it's like I'm doing this thing to one up you, but I'm really not mad for real. I'm really not for real mad. Like I can do this because I can do this, but I ain't really mad like you are. You are really mad because I hurt you. I do be cheating. I do be doing dirty stuff, but you knew what it was, you know, so to speak. And so I think Tony is just one of those moments where it's like, I'm really not like, are we doing this? Are we gonna plan Meadow and Finn's engagement party? Like, all right, let's just forget it. She got me. I think he conceded she got me. And I just love like this whole moment where he grabs the basket and he says it wasn't all bad. And I appreciate because there was an innocent time in their relationship, bro. Before Tony was a made guy, before he probably was even making his bones when they were in high school, like there was a regular time where he was a charming guy. So I love that I love this whole approach. And Carmella, you know, she was just like, bro, I'm not doing this with you. Like, I'm not doing this today. Like you called out attorneys, you know what you playing dirty, and she's like, well, what you expect? So it was fair. I love this. They were cordial, dope. Anything else y'all want to add to this scene right here?
It wasn't all bad. That was a dope line. Just to remind you, like, no matter where we are right now, like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Do y'all think
we had some good moments together?
Do y'all think that line was a part of a subconscious thinking of her when she runs into Wegler later?
No.
I just think it's a reminder.
I'll talk
regardless of.
Okay.
I was just gonna say I'll tell you when we get there.
Okay. We go to Janice's anger management class. It's a few people in there. They're talking about their anger. Dude talks about his anger with parking, and dude does a reenactment of a commercial from back in the day. Black woman starts to talk about her anger. Janice starts to jump in and talk about she agreed, but then she flips on like, oh no, I'm not talking about I agree with you.
What you think about Janice code switching right here, Mo?
Like the fact that she was like, I marched to the civil rights movement, and I don't get the right to question them with their SUVs.
Hold on, I got you. Hold on, Mo. You got to do the whole quote, man. I left home and I marched, and for what? So they can ride around in their SUVs blasting that rap shit.
Bruh.
And you can't say anything because they might have guns.
Bruh, dog, that was so
funny for that.
Funny, bruh, because she actually rolled her neck and everything. That's what made it like super funny to me. I'm like,
if the shoe fits,
right? I was like, but even then, I still like how the black woman handled it though.
I'm the UPS man. This shit is priceless. Man. Like that nigga just in the middle of like this shit is priceless,
bruh. So
she played in a lot of stuff though. That black lady.
Yeah, I've seen her in a few things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, every time I see this scene, I think about that UPS dude, and I think about somebody who just had a bad day one day, and then it was so bad. Now they got to go through this shit. Like they're not like a Janet Soprano or somebody who has a real problem. It's just like they caught me on a raw day, and I reacted. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't give a fuck that day, and now I got to go through these classes. So now I'm in here with people who really got some shit going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sitting here. That's why you probably had that, like, this shit is priceless. I can't believe I'm in the same room with y'all.
I'm at.
Yeah. We get Chris and Blundetto. They're on the road. I'll say that I like the idea of them reminiscing as kids and tying this again, the family dynamic together. You could kind of see where Chris, starts to waver a little bit and kind of start to open up like, okay, maybe things have changed. Maybe I can be cool with Cuz. You kind of see that. And then you get a funny
He's still acting like a bitch at first, though.
I mean, of course. But I will say, though, I didn't get to say it much, and I will acknowledge this because this is important. When they wrapped him up around the tree to say, hey, you got to do a specific thing to get in this club when he was a little kid, and they left him tied to the tree till 3 a.m, that's traumatizing, bro. I will say that. Like, because I don't know what time they put him on the tree, but like, you imagine if you got to pee or you got to take a number 2, bro. Like, y'all left me here, and like these ropes, I can't get out.
You 13, bro. You the one that dumb to let them tie you up and do that. Like, why are you mad at it? All of that's a part of growing up, though. You're a boy. What are we talking about, though?
It is, but I think it's deeper. It's just deeper stuff than that. I think the lack of a father, with Chris. There's a lot of other elements. I'm with you when we get to the later scenes about, bro, toughen up. I'm with you. I'm just saying that moment's like, yo, I'm still kind of low key, like, bro. I
understand what you're saying. You're right. I want to acknowledge that first. It can be traumatizing. I think what the frustrating thing for me as a viewer watching it is like, who cares though, bro? Like these men have saved your life as you have them in the situations that y'all been in. Y'all been through much deeper shit than that right there. That's a prank. That's that's a prank.
Yo, you just made a great point because Blundetto is the one that saved Chris when he was trying to come at
when
Tony.
He was going to get kicked. Tony was going to literally kill him.
And, he said, try it my way. Yeah. He said, try it my way. Man, that's
We've been through much deeper shit for you to be holding on to this. Like we did that because we love you, and we done the deep shit because we love you. Like it's how it works. Christopher has this thing where he like individualizes this trauma, like what you're saying, Mo. It's only about him.
Yeah.
When it would have happened to anybody that was in your situation, bro.
Yeah, because even Blundetto said something about like, oh, that happened to me too. It was some scenario that he was talking about being on the farm. He's like, yeah, I went through that too when I was 12 or 13.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So this whole shared experience, that can connect anyone, right? That's why Chris starts opening up when he talks about, Uncle Pat's. I know what it's like, and you know what it's like to be at Uncle Pat's. You know what it's like to run around in the woods. You know what it's like to drive that tractor. You didn't have it all bad. I had it bad too. It's just kind of one of those things. It's almost like initiation. Yeah. But shared experiences can lower the guard on anybody, right? If we all, if I go to London, I'm going to feel more comfortable as soon as I meet someone who says they're from the States. Yep. We have a shared experience. We know that that's like, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm in Atlanta, I'm going to feel more comfortable if I meet someone who says they're from Ohio. Or they say they're from Cincinnati. Or they say, you know what I mean? Like, it's the closer you can get, the more you can break down that common denominator, the more you let your guard down, and it makes you feel like you know someone, even though you really don't. And it was beautiful to see in real time where Chris has had this guard up the whole time about Tony. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I am reminded we are a family. We do have the same stories. We do have the same shared experiences. So now I can actually remember that and look at you like a cousin instead of just some guy that got the casino over me.
Mm-hmm. Great point. Both of y'all, great points. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? The funny line. This was almost going to be a flip at the front of the episode, but I let it marinate. Ichabod Crane. Who called you that? Some very sorry people. That's who.
That used to be one of my favorite stories.
The Ichabod Crane?
The Headless Horseman. Yeah.
That's a classic. Didn't they had a series some years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was whack, though.
Dang, man.
The premise was whack. I think the nigga was like solving crimes or some shit. Like he was headless. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was some weirdo peacock shit.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think it was on NBC. It was weird though.
Yeah, I do remember though. People was raving about it for a moment, but
really,
it was like one of those things where people were talking about. But that's another conversation talking about TV around that 2015, 16 era. But yeah, we get Tony and Melfi. And she tells Tony that rage, what'd she say? Depression is rage turned inward. And that is one of those deep lines you think about when you walk away from Sopranos. That's just one of those lines. If you think about Melfi and Tony Sessions, that's one of those lines you think about. You think, why Tony Soprano? You think certain things. It's so many phrases that you think about, but that's definitely one of those ones where depression is rage turned inward. And, bruh, the Tony, this would definitely by far remind me of Spike Lee. When he was talking, like she was talking about the inconveniences, bruh, and he was like, it's supposed to make things better, but it's making things worse. He says, "Hey, we'll be with you." Well, then pick up the phone then. Like, bro, answer the freaking phone. Like, I was rolling. I was like, yo. And then he was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, I was like, yo, this is so freaking funny, bro. Like, Tony was nuts.
That's something I would have said right there when he said, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, he was like, "What are you talking about, man?" So like that was so funny.
It's depression is rage turned inward too.
Oh, it's the other way. Okay, depression. Yeah, that's what I said. Depression
is rage turned inward. Okay.
Oh, no, I said okay. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. But what anything I want to add to this scene, man? Just because she was getting her bag, obviously, Melfi. She didn't let him off the hook at all. Like she's like, okay, oh, you brought up Janice. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Like because he tried to do the thing he always do. He tried to backpedal and go somewhere else and like, oh, I forgot I told you that about, seeing his mother chop up meat or whatever, finger, or seeing his dad chop off a finger or whatever. So, yeah, like, but I ain't have much other than that. Just that.
How did he mess up the quote? The revenge is best served like cold cuts. That's what I found interesting. Such a standard quote for you to mess up.
I don't know. Don't that seem like a little Carmine? Like don't that seem like a little Carmine line?
Oh yeah, some he regurgitated from.
Yeah,
he's
like,
heard.
You know what they say, my friend?
Good.
They say that revenge is best served as a cold cut. Like that sounds like a little Carmine line.
I love every time I hear about scenarios where he explains, he was talking about John Gotti and how he didn't get mad up front. He just sat back, smiled, and made sure they got theirs. It always reminds me of niggas that started something. Shout out to anybody who knows that song. DMX, Styles P had a line in that song, sitting by the table playing plug the fan in, let the sweat dry off, and then grab the cannon. In other words, saying like, no matter what happens to you, make sure you cool down first, get your bearings together, like make sure you strategize, and then you go ahead and get your get back. Don't just go out there acting reckless and off emotion because it's gonna end the bad for you.
I was about to use a poetic justice reference, but I'm not now. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like how they tied this into what I think you guys were right about the television appearance from the psychiatrist, but I love how Melfi kind of echoed what he said in the end of this session, telling Tony that too. Like any small inconvenience you blow, and just read him and essentially said the same thing that the psychiatrist on the news was saying.
Yeah, these are the seeds that they're really about to start trying to make us hate Tony.
They've been doing this all season. Yeah, trying to make us hate him all season.
This episode, and I'll speak to it. Like we talked about where it started, and then I'm talking about where they hit the gas. This episode is where they hit the gas. So it's like, okay, from this on, but I'll speak to that a little later. So yeah, it's good to see Melfi as always. It's crazy. It's still crazy. Again, you talk about light years ago. This is the same season that Tony tried to date Melfi. Like, this is the same season, bruh.
With the basket and all of that.
Yes.
I want your mouth.
Yes.
Nasty work.
Nasty work. But this is also the same season where we got the classic scene where Melfi had the dream and she had to. All right, so, but yeah, so that's that session. I'll never forget. It lives rent free in my mind. We go to Uncle Pat's farm, like they chilling out in the cut. And it's funny, I don't know if it was Tony Soprano that said it, but they was talking about how going out there felt like a whole nother world. I don't know. What do y'all think this is geographically? Like, is this like some like low key area of Jersey? What was?
It says 100 miles. 100 miles. I think it's in New York. It's either Jersey or New York. They think, because remember they said they retired them to a farm. They didn't say the state, but just something real.
Just upstate, like when you in the metro area there, where they are, like in Jersey, Philly, New York, all of that is congested and you get all the people there. But if you just travel upstate, headed towards Buffalo or Syracuse or some shit like that, then you get these, like, they're not used to that because they right there in the city on all of them on top of each other. But you travel 100 miles upstate and it's like spread out more like the South.
Yeah.
More the best part about that, or I guess the greatest indicator, is Chris's comment. Chris said inner city kids like me, and it was like you grew up by the largest mall in New Jersey. Like, it's so that's to Chris, that's far out. That's the country. That makes him feel like an inner city child. To inner city kids, that don't even feel like where Chris lives is the country. It's like it's always layers to it.
Yeah,
fact. That's a good point.
How do y'all feel though? Like, I don't know about y'all, but how do y'all feel about this when y'all see this kind of similar to like a Southern-esque, obviously Spike from the South. I was in the South for many years. How do y'all feel about like that style of living? Do y'all think that's dope? Is that something to strive to, or y'all just feel like, oh, it's cool? Like,
there's a scene.
Yeah.
My fault. I was gonna say there's a scene when Tony comes up and he's smoking that cigar. You just see the nature behind him, and I was thinking to myself watching it, like, man, I could use that right now.
Man,
just a disconnect, just kind of relax, chill, just kind of get away from the hustle and bustle, just be with your thoughts, all types of stuff. Yeah, so I could.
You think a good short term for you?
Yeah, I think it's good in doses.
Doses, okay.
Or like y'all remember Atlanta, the Paperboy episode?
Paperboy episode when he was out there,
he got stuck up there.
Man, he got stuck. He was fucked up.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, it ain't nothing that I would be against, but
I mean, it's a lot of work at this stage, but like later down
it's a lot of work though.
Okay, yeah, true. Shit, it's already a lot of work now.
Facts.
Just you know,
I'd rather be doing that work than regular.
That's what I'm saying. That's already a lot of work now, dog. Like, I'm trying to make it in the city. It is a lot of work.
Very good point. That is a very good point.
All right, I always wondered because the scenery looks good. They got this.
I do it though. Yeah.
Yeah, I do it, but like it's one of those things. I've done everything. I'm ready to kind of settle into this style, but like they got this little light bulb above the table, and they just got this table outside eating dinner. Like they can eat inside, but they like out in the nature. You can hear the crickets and. They're having a conversation and they're trying to figure out where the bodies are as far as the other bodies, and Uncle Pat can't quite remember yet. And I think in the later in this scene, after they eat dinner, they go out and they're digging up the body. Obviously, this is Chris' body. Now, I wanted to ask y'all: is this the reference to season 1?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pilot episode.
So that Chris's first body was a body that was a voluntary body, remember, because they didn't ask him to do that.
Yeah, he killed him in Satrials on the very first episode of the show.
Because they said it was a Czechoslovakian.
Well, yeah, right? He's really a Czech American.
But
okay. Chris keep messing it up and calling him Czechoslovakian.
You will have our sausages. I thought it was cool. It was a good bond.
But remember, he moved that body before.
You will have a sausage was crazy. Paul.
That's season 1. That's season 1. That's a season 1 references.
But you remember, this is the second. Remember, he already moved this body. Because remember, Georgie helped him dig it up, which I thought was weird in the real time.
Oh yeah, because he had the COVID mask on. Like, yeah, remember they was under the bridge and they was digging and it stunk and he was.
He just had a dream. He got an inclination that he needs to move that body.
This when Big P was still alive.
Yeah.
Because remember, Big P was laughing at him like about the whole arc joke or something like that. You know who else had?
That was right. But Big P was around when he first killed the dude that was trying to get rid of the body.
Yeah.
P was already gone when he moved it the second time, and he moved it up here because Georgie helped him with that.
Well, hold on, because I thought P at that time he was like. He's like, man, I keep having the dreams about the guy or whatever. He was just like,
that was when he initially killed him, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was season 2. Okay.
Because remember, he was trying to put him in that. They was trying to put him in that dumpster.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I could be wrong. I
don't know. Y'all listeners, clue us in. When was that conversation? But man, I miss Big P. He was a great addition to the show. We'll spin the block on all of the characters that we miss, like the Richies of the worlds and all of them, man. You know, it was good times at that point. But
Mo's a fan of rats, ladies and gentlemen. Mo's a fan of rats.
Look at him. I'm a fan of good characters.
We might need to get Aegon on you, Mo.
Huh?
Yeah.
Little crossover reference there.
These guys.
Yeah, Aegon ain't too thrilled with the rat catches, man.
These guys are trying to get me all the way out of here. Goodness gracious. But we get the bonding from the cousins, Chris, and they're making jokes. And what y'all think about Blundetto's jokes, man?
I always took that as he was trying to make Chris feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think
Tony you talking about as they were digging the dude out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pause, bro. Golly. Hey, yo, that's nasty to the of power. Digging the dude out. Oh, Vito. No veto.
That was a good one.
I'm starting to use that.
That was good.
Somebody listen like, I can't stand these guys. Somebody they heard 100%. That they really could. That was crazy. But
Jesus Christ, that's flagrant. Nah, you're right. That's flagrant.
Boy, that was the goodness.
Man, you know it's bad when Mo gets you. When Mo gets you, you know it's bad.
Oh man.
It was the medication, man.
It definitely is the medication.
It was the medication.
Hey, Spike, you gotta get a doctor. You gotta get a doctor's note after that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Damn.
But what did you? So you felt the same way? Like you just feel like he was trying to make Chris comfortable?
Yeah.
As far as
Tony's intelligent. We know that, as we've seen from his IQ score, whatever it may be. So he picks up on social cues very well. He understands that Chris is probably feeling a certain type of way with everything that he's been happening upon as far as the casino and even this right here, with you helping me, nigga. I ain't even want you here. Mm-hmm. So he's picking up on, let me make this kid open up. Let this kid know that I'm on his side. We family. Like, this is how shit goes. So I'm gonna be extra nice, joke extra. It's just me and him here. So yeah, he did that on purpose.
I got a hot take too. Blundetto is book smart, not street smart. And y'all just follow me on that as we go through the rest of Blundetto's storyline. Not this episode, but it's just for this season in general. Just because he passed that test as a masseuse, that they talked about how hard it was to pass that test.
But what are you saying? Take away from his what situations have you seen him in where he wasn't street smart
though? Whacking Joey Peeps the way he did. He wasn't smart enough to not be seen. He got his foot ran over by a tire. Like it's. I
think all of that was happenstance though. Like he did it because of loyalty to dude. So I think we take the smarts out of it in that sense, because it was just a loyalty thing. He would have did that regardless. And then all the other stuff that happened, I think, was happenstance though. I think he's fairly.
Too many happenstance is only once. Once you get past that,
just got ran over. His foot just got ran over.
Well, I'm saying, but you say everything else. But like we got later stuff that I feel like are receipts to. I think he's more book smart than street smart. Like an IQ test, how he passed that test from being a masseuse, how he was able to get the doctor out. He knew to bring the doctor out to get Chris freed up, saying, "Hey, nothing. I mean, nothing could have happened between Tony and Adriana." He was book smart enough to know, from a scientific standpoint, that's not possible. So I think that's a hot take of mine. I could be wrong, y'all, for the Redditors. Y'all take it where y'all want, but I would say Tony Blundetto is more actually book smart, not street smart, which is why he's not a made guy. Well, I was going in, but like we'll get to later why. But yeah, Chris is having a good time. He's enjoying this conversation with Cuzzo. It's good to have this moment, and I've been there before. It's like, oh man, we actually cool. Like we've never really been through it. Go to the next scene. Benny and mob actor number 8. They chase down the security guard.
Hey man, don't do my dog Terry like that.
Whoever I'm just but they chase down the security guard, and they find out that Phil Leotardo got the Vespa. Anything else?
John got him.
Well, yeah, but I think he specifically called Phil and them basically. Like, which obviously equates to John.
Hey man, listen, that security guard made a real quick business decision. That nigga Terry held that pipe and said, "Nigga, 2 seconds. This shit going up your ass, bro. What you want to do?" That nigga said, "Phil Leotardo, bro. The niggas from New York, please."
I'm gonna keep it a bean, bro. I ain't suffering. Like, I ain't getting tortured like in any shows, any scenario, but I am not. I ain't got that type of loyalty.
I thought it was funny that it took all that because, like, bro, they chasing you with a whip. You not built for this life. Go ahead and just give it up.
Just tell.
Like, why put yourself even through any of this?
Loyalties. Yeah, you don't own no loyalties.
You know what it be though when people be kind of holding on to it that they ain't really loyal to it. It's because they're not prepared to make that run. Because once I do this, I'm going to have to readjust everything immediately. And I think that's normally what it is. It's like, once I tell them I got to get out of Dodge because whoever the home team was, that I was supposed to be loyal to. When they find out that I told, they're gonna find out about me, and I ain't prepared to get everything situated and get out of here. I think that's what it'd be more than like the loyalty aspect. Because you think about if you get in a scenario, then you turn around and be like, oh, I so and so did it. I got to give it to him. Like, hey, look, because I ain't about to die over this.
My point is though, you know they about to catch you, so you fucked either way.
And then Benny, I'm gonna probably make a meme about this, but like Benny, never mind. I'm gonna save it for the meme. But like the way Benny was whipping him with that metal, I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Like getting hit with full force with the metal is like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm not playing with you, bro. We're not playing these games.
And give me the answers. We go back, Chris and Blundetto, they crush the skulls, and Blundetto says, I went to jail for a long time. I'm old that, what Spike was saying earlier. And then Christopher now is all of a sudden emotionally, he's backpedal gang now. Oh, I was saying that, man, you deserved it. Like
hating ass nigga, man. That's how you know you're a hater. You got a back.
That was real. He was really backpedaling.
That's some real hating ass shit right there.
Like, yeah, that was just goof behavior to me. It's like, bro, you was real goof right there. Oh, I was just saying, like, nah. I literally was in the car with you when you was talking to me like, oh yeah, you shouldn't even be complaining for real, bro. Like, but I did like CD. This is okay. Now I will say this: talking about Steve Buscemi playing Blundetto, the way he talks about like, hey, yo, I deserve that. I should be. I'm old that, and how Chris. This is the way I felt like Blundetto. They should have rolled him out initially. Now I don't know if it was the acting choices, writing choices, because if you start from here, and if this was like earlier, like in episode 2, and we build from this point, I feel like the Steve Buscemi, how he's presented as Blundetto is more believable. I'm loving the work he's doing here now. Now all of the things they're doing is better. So I don't know if he was getting warmed up, what it was, but like this, like when he looked at Chris. He was like that, like I'm old. Hey, I was in jail for a long time for this family. I'm old that. I believed him. You know what I'm saying? So those little subtleties are starting to work, but I feel like we needed that earlier to believe that he was really that dude before he went in. You know what I'm saying? So, but anything I want to add to this scene of them crushing up the skull and body parts or whatnot?
Him talking to Chris was one of my favorite moments of the episode. Just letting you know, man, I'm about to put it out here right now. Like, regardless of what you feel or what you might have heard about anything going on with me in New York, that shit ain't true. I know people feel a way about me getting this casino, but let me tell you something real quick. I did time for this family. I stood up tall for this family. That's mine, and that's how I view that. So this is my way of just saying, you don't get those moments unless you actually sit down and spend time with somebody. You know what I mean? If it's just strictly business and you just pass coming and going, you never have that opportunity. But they both felt open enough to just kind of, I know this is what you're thinking. Let me just go ahead and say it right now. And since I'm the one saying it, that leaves no rooms for any questions. Like, I'm telling you what it is. Don't ever bring this shit up again.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to catch you.
To admit this. Yeah.
I don't never want to see you in my casino again and look across the room and you kind of give me that look like I saw you with Paulie the other night. Like, I know you feel the way. All right, bet. Let's talk about it. Let me tell you why. Like, have you ever done time for this family? No. Well, when you do, you're gonna expect some shit when you get out. Let me just say it like that.
Well said.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I know we joke and we laugh. I was cracking jokes on Tony. I did that to make you feel more comfortable. I just want you to know I love him like a brother. Like, don't get that shit fucked up. I might joke and I play, but that's my dog. And if it comes down to it, I'm always gonna have his back. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure no matter what I say and how much I play that you know that much.
Great pull, Rich. Like all that was really dope context right there. Yeah, that was really good, bro. We get back to the bada bing. Benny tells Tony that Johnny has the Vespas. This cousin thing is really starting to get to Tony, and Tony's getting mad. Before I jump in, on something that I feel is just what didn't fit this scene, I throw the ball in your court, Spike. What you think about this whole interaction?
Seal jumping in as quick as he did.
Okay.
Think about how supportive you've been of him in this whole little Carmine thing. That was very smart by Seal, and while we always say he's a brilliant number 2. Mm-hmm. Seal speaking on, I'm telling you what I've saw. You know, if there's something else going on, you need to let me know, because how it looks right now, you look crazy. or the situation looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Seal is smart enough to frame it in the sense of, I'm not going to ask you, but you better damn sure tell me if something is going on. Because all I've seen is you be stand up with this man. So I think this was a great scene by Phil. A wonderful scene by Phil and Tony as well.
Seal.
Like wondering, like you could see it on his face, like, how am I going to put an end to this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I like nip this in the bud? Like, it really ain't anything, but it's everything. Because we talking about my cousin, we talking about John, who I'm a longtime friend of, and we're talking about this thing that may divide everything as far as relationship with those three people, Tony, his cousin, and Johnny, from this point moving forward. So really good scene by James Gandolfini and Seal.
Johnny should be out looking for the real killers instead of spending all this time on that golf course.
Bruh. Shout
out to OJ. No, well, not shout out, but anybody knows that's a direct OJ Simpson callback.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, OJ, when OJ got acquitted, he said he was gonna spend his days looking for the real killers. But every time you looked up, he was on the golf course.
I hope they fry
every time you looked up.
I hope they fry his ass. word to Jackie Seeger. Yeah. I will say again, just like the psychologist on the news report, this to me, it just feels so forced to me with the Tony, this whole anger setup. We know Tony's angry, but like it just felt it just didn't curl over for me. Like it's like this whole, I get the frustration, but him going to another level, like it just feel like you out here begging for attention, nigga, say please. Like that's how it feels with Tony for me right there. It's just like he out of nowhere, he just like, oh, so we ain't getting no provolone now. I guess that's how it is now. And he's mad, he's frustrated, he's juggling a lot of different things right now because I'm trying to protect Blundetto, I'm trying to keep the family together, I'm going through the divorce thing. He's trying to juggle a lot of things, but it's like, to me, it just felt, it didn't fit to me, bro. Like, I feel like they're forcing that angle. I don't know,
Mo,
bro.
do you know what a rage room is?
Niggas get their rage off. They got stuff to throw at walls, beat. I don't know.
No, that's pretty much what it is. The first time I ever saw one, Spike probably can remember this if he remembers this episode. First time I really ever like saw it on TV Billions. Was an episode of Billions when Taylor went to a rage room, and I think Axelrod might have went with her. But that's a real with them, excuse me. But that's a real thing where multiple cities have them. Like it's literally a room where they just set up stuff to where you can take a baseball bat, hammer, whatever you want to, and just crash it. Just get that shit out. And I think that's what they were trying to show us. Obviously, they went around back here when Tony was doing this, but I think it's just where Tony's mindset is. Like everything this season has not going well for Tony. Like, he's out of his element. He's playing defense the whole time. Like I think that I feel what you're saying as far as it being forced, but I also think it's just to show exactly where Tony is mentally and how much shit he's had to put on his shoulders, and he doesn't have an outlet for it. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have an outlet to get all this shit off. So he's just kind of randomly letting it go. There's another scene that really, now that's a scene that kind of seems forced, even though we see him doing it over and over. But yeah, we'll talk about it when we get there. I don't want to discredit what you're saying, but I do look at it more as like Tony's got to he's got to find some kind of outlet to get this shit off. He's pissed. Everything, his livelihood from his marriage to everything else.
I believe his rage. But I'm gonna go in the Spike lane. How Spike always gives give characters more credit for being smart or intelligent. This is one of those moments like clearly Tony knows. Like they already know he in therapy. So it's like I just don't believe that Tony would let this rage get off in front of them. Like that level of breaking sticks, and then like even the later scene. Like it's just like I don't believe Tony would do that. Like it just feels like we're doing this to create one of the most legendary classic scenes that we're going to get at the end of the episode. To me, when we talk season rankings, there's going to be reasons why season 5 is not as ranked as high for me. Like there's definitely reasons. These are moments that really you know, but we'll get there when that time comes back at being an episode or whatever. But yeah, it felt forced because there's this zoom in on him and he's breathing hard, and then like, man, what the, and he just goes into it. It's just like it I don't know, it feel like you asking for attention or something. I don't like it, and I don't feel like it don't feel consistent to me.
I respectfully disagree with you. I think it speaks to the overarching theme of this episode. I see Janice acting out of rage at the soccer thing. I see Carmela doing it by draining the pool. And everybody has this rageful way that they're acting. And even with Dr. Melfi and how she's approaching conversations with him and kind of how she digests it when he blocks it like Matumbo. Like everybody is dealing with that rage, that road rage instinct that they have in their bodies. But this is how Tony lets it out. Like he couldn't hold it in anymore. Like I've went and yelled at Janice for the shit that she did. I yelled at Bobby. I fucking went and did all of the, like Carmela had this thing with me, and all of these things that are gently pressing against me this episode. I finally reached the breaking point because I don't know what to do about my cousin. I don't know how this is going to play out. I know Johnny has a valid point. If I were a boss, I'd be doing the same thing. Like the way that Johnny pressing me about this, and it was somebody that I loved that got killed. Like, yeah, Johnny doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But Tony, I think Tony processing all of this stuff in real time, and we've seen how it's added on all episode, and how the psychiatrist from the news and Dr. Melfi told him, like, you like to be in control, bro. Nothing's in your control right now. Like the smallest things, the provolone, the cheese, all this shit that you thought it was in your control, none of that shit's in your control. So I understand the lashing out in this scene.
Yeah, I just wish he would have walked out of the Bing and just like did the heavy breathing, walked out of the Bing, and then took a stick that was with him and then just did it outside. So to me, because it just, I'm sorry, I don't believe Tony was doing this in front of the guys, bro. He wants to look like a competent leader. He always wants to do that. Like, and I just, that part to me, it felt like if he got rage and started beating something up outside, going crazy, I would believe it more. This in front of them just felt like a attention horror thing to me. It just didn't fit for me.
Interesting.
The rage is real, but the rage feels real, like Tony's rage. But then, and the only reason I say that now, here's why I say I would change my mind. If the later scene at the Bing didn't happen, I would feel like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But the fact that the later scene happens, I'm like, all right, bro. Now, y'all driving just like I did on Christopher. Y'all driving the point a little too hard where it don't feel natural. And that's all I'm saying.
But I think that goes to what you said earlier too, as to they're really pushing this Tony's a bad guy thing. They want us as the viewer to not like him.
Yeah. Because people probably were still raving back in the day, the TV guy. People were still like, oh, we love Tony Soprano. And so they're like, all right, we about to shake it up. Like, this nigga
He's a bad
terrible.
guy. Like, the show is clearly trying to show you this season he's a bad guy.
Yeah, he is, yeah. So, but then how y'all gonna have us say he's a bad guy, man? This man pulled up on Marco Polo in the shorts and grilling for his his wife. They separated. Man, come on, man. We love this dude. Came, he threw her in the pool and stuff. Like, we fell back in love with him. How y'all gonna try to make us hate him all of a sudden? We go to we see Carmela.
Wexler, bitch ass.
Yeah, Carmela runs into Wegler, and him saying, I'm gonna call you after telling her she used the only weapon she had is nuts, bro. Like, I'm sorry. This is realistic, but even this feels like off to me a little bit because he was so sure when he said
he wanted to call. He didn't say he was gonna call. He said he wanted to call.
But he said something else too before that, right? He's asking like,
how she been? What you doing here? Like the nigga.
So you think he's just doing like the fake surface level thing? Like he's not.
You know how we do sometimes.
Yeah, you just kind of.
Damn, I ain't seen you in forever. Like, damn, yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. Absolutely, man. It's been so long. Dang, man, I can't believe it's been so long since I talked to you. All right, then I'll holler at
you. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I don't know if you noticed. I think you may have noticed. Rick should probably notice. So this is known as the worst Sopranos edit.
This is so weird,
bruh.
This is the weirdest thing in the whole series.
Yes.
What in the fuck happened right there, bro?
I think somebody fell asleep.
I can't wait till Rich
edit.
get back so we can. That was so weird. It takes you out of the world.
Bro, it does.
It completely removes
you. Make you
from,
forget this is a TV show.
Like, what the fuck happened?
You like wait. Hold on. Let me rewind. I like how
you. I'm glad you brought that up.
I like how you said it. It takes you out of the world. When this happens, it makes you feel like, oh, this is a TV show. We were in the world, and then when this happens, you realize, oh, we're watching a TV show. That and which is fire because Sopranos is that good. But like the fact that this edit happens, it's so freaking
insane.
This edit is so weird.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was watching it and thought like those were my exact. I was like, what just happened? Like, why did they do that? What in the fuck?
Somebody fell asleep when they edited that and they missed it, trying to chop out all the deleted parts, and I think it just got overlooked, bro. Like that's I don't know if it's true, but I think I know how to edit videos, and I'd imagine whoever's like over the editing, they probably missed it or they probably let it run a little bit too long and didn't realize they didn't. But like that whole thing,
it was so bad.
Bruh, this edit is so bad. I made a video on one of my Instagram pages, like to kind of rework it to make it work because it was so crazy. Like
it's so bad. Rich,
I don't have any special stories for you. It's according to the commentary, it was just they didn't know. They didn't pick up on it. They didn't know that the editing was that bad. Whoever was editing fell asleep at the wheel.
Bruh.
Did this and nobody happened to catch it until it was time to actually air. So it just is what it is. However, there are some cool. If you're into fan theories, go to Sopranos Reddit and like think about Reddit's or think about fan theories, or they talk about what they thought it was. Some people think they were just in Carmela's frame of thought, and maybe time stood still because of everything that happened at the moment. There's some people that thought the episode's titled Cold Cuts. So that's their way of cutting to a different scene in a cold way. It's just different theories. But in all actuality,
no, there were no good ones in there.
People who wrote those thought those were good, Mo. Like, what do we?
This is like the email. This is like the email. Mo stopped listening to you halfway through.
I wouldn't. I would have. Hey, listen,
I thought it was cool.
Spike, I'm sitting here thinking like I wouldn't even brought him up if I didn't think it was somewhat decent. Mo was like, "Hey, any good ones in there?"
Straight stone face too. Like, hey, were no good ones in there though. That was just how he did the email.
I guess I'm just reading this for no reason.
I'm keeping it a beat. I'm not even trying to like. Y'all be trying to make me out to be.
In the middle.
Apparently not, Mo. There wasn't no good ones. Apparently not.
Damn, man, nigga said, "Were no good ones in there."
No, because I'm not mad at
it. You a funny dude, Mo.
Oh my god,
hilarious,
dude. All right, yeah, take it easy. Yeah, funny how.
Hey, all time number one funny is that email though. Stop reading. Like you don't know how many questions that I still have. I still got so many questions about how that happened. Like I was genuinely confused.
I'm genuinely confused.
I never seen that. I've never seen that.
You've never. All right. You pouring gas on it, bro. You pouring gas. I've never seen it. You pouring gas on it, dog.
I've never seen any show. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I ain't never seen a nigga reading the email and like just stop halfway through and be like, man, you know what? I ain't reading this shit. We appreciate you and everything, bro, but I ain't reading this shit.
That's why we keep. Nah, Mo, that's one of the funniest moments I've
ever. Yeah.
Nah, legit.
Y'all made me want to just chop that part out, but I ain't gonna do it though. But hey, I ain't gonna chop it out because it's too many so much content to that. Yeah, it's too many internal jokes.
Please don't chop that out. Jeez,
I can't because then I had to listen through.
I'd love for her to respond. I would
too. Yeah.
I would love
Michelle,
to know
what was
Michelle. Michelle, please tell us what you thought about that.
Yeah. Hey,
y'all ever just real quick. Troy Smith, former quarterback for Ohio State, who won the Heisman Trophy. This isn't funny. Like what I'm about to say isn't funny for real, but it is. So Troy Smith got a DUI right some years ago, and they released a dash cam video, and my man was painted, bro. He was wasted.
Yeah.
And they asked him one of them questions like, say the alphabet starting that letter like F and ended like N, and he started doing it. He like HIJK or whatever he ended on I, He was like, I just want to go home, and that's how I felt like you were, Mo. Like you was just, I'm just done.
Deep. That's a deep pull, bro.
Because if you listen to it, because there was the reason I bring it up, and it doesn't make sense if you're listening to me right now. You're probably listening like, why did he bring that up? If you watch the video, there was just a sense of defeat in his voice. Like I just want to go home. Like I'm done. Like I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like
why did I even start?
Why did I even start this shit?
This, bro?
And Mo just like I felt like you got halfway through the alphabet. Mo was like, I'm done.
I got defeated, huh? See, now I got to go back at the end of the episode and finish the email. See,
damn,
I'm not gonna read the rest of it. But now, y'all hilarious.
We know you're not gonna read the rest of it. We could tell.
We know.
It's very evident that you was not gonna read the rest of that email.
Yeah, that's this show is not professional. If y'all haven't figured it out yet, this is not a professional show. This is just a dope show. All right.
But yeah, we appreciate it. But
I mean,
yeah, but I'm not reading that straight up.
Because I already read
we just did a 2-hour breakdown.
Like I don't want to like.
We just did a 2-hour breakdown. We appreciate you sending this.
Like, come on, y'all, for real though. Like if you just went deep into something, and after you go deep, somebody in a conversation, somebody say, "Yeah, bro," but I feel like, and then after you just broke it down, they go into breaking it down. It's like, bro, I just said this. So that's that's kind of what it is.
That was real. That was real nigga shit right there, man.
That's me.
Like, I ain't doing it.
I can't be no other way.
I ain't doing it. Fuck it, man.
Hey, that's me. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Shout out Michelle, man. We appreciate you, Michelle.
Definitely do. Shout out to our women listeners.
100%.
Hey, shout out to Amanda too. She knows. I said I would shout her out, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But shout out to Amanda.
Shout out to Amanda. We appreciate her listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. Always.
Yeah. Uncle Pat's farm. They're right in front of the lake. Again, living that just southern country. They got 2 weeks to clear out, as Tony had said before in that car ride. And we find out Christopher's been sober for 14 months. Uncle Pat, like, good for you. He talked about his mom. And only thing I take away from this scene is obviously Uncle Pat remembers out of nowhere where the body is. And do y'all think, I don't know for me, y'all, but does Uncle Pat kind of look like Bobby Bacala Sr.?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see the similarities.
He does favor him. Yeah, it's definitely some similarities. We see him later in the series too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think.
Yeah, well, Uncle Junior.
Okay. Only thing I got from the scene, I was just like, other than him remembers, like, bro, I bet that wine is bomb. That's probably like the true, like a real import, or they made it from scratch on the farm. But I said that wine probably bomb, bro.
The wine, yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, that's the only thing I gathered from that. And then we get Tony comes to Uncle Pat's. Why did Tony come to Uncle Pat's?
You skipped Janice.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Let me go back a second. Tony and Janice. Janice apologizes and breaks down her anger with Tony. And after all that, going back and forth, Tony says that he's happy for her. Was Tony really happy for her in that moment?
No.
Damn.
No.
Walking definition.
Tony's a piece of shit, and he's mad that she's even finding any like she's gaining any traction in this, and he's mad that it even works for her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, "Nah, I ain't. I'm stealing your joy."
Man.
Yeah, Tony, the walking definition of misery loves company.
Yeah. Then we get to Tony comes to Uncle Pat's. Why did Tony come to Uncle Pat's? That's the thing that I didn't quite get.
I think he just wanted to check up on him. He was stressed out. He knew that they was up there. It's a place you can go to blow some steam off. So I just want to go chill, man. Give me a day off.
And not to mention your peoples, man. Uncle Pat. You can tell he ain't seen him because Uncle Pat had to say, "Is that Anthony?" Which means that let me know right away they hadn't seen each other in a while. He was emotional, wiping his eyes away. Like, this is my uncle. I ain't pulled up on him. Like, the opportunity for all three of us to be here where we spent so many summers. like, sure, I'm just gonna pull up and see what they got going on. On top of what Spike said, I also want to make sure y'all doing a job.
Right. A little bit of micromanaging in there as well.
A little micromanaging, yeah.
But I think he just wanted to see them.
And man, low key, that crib pretty big, bro. I was just looking at it when Tony pulled up. I was like, bro, that crib pretty big too. Like, just it's out in the country or country-esque on the East Coast, but it's a big house though. I was like, this is legit. Like,
they got a lot of room.
Yeah, got a lot of room. Yeah, that's dope. But this really just makes me want to go out somewhere in the country right now. Like, I watched it, I was like, bro, I just want to go out in the country.
How long could you stay out somewhere like that? Before you felt like you need to get back. Yeah, you got Wi-Fi, you can watch your movies or whatever it may be, but bro, just before you feel like you need to get back.
I'm sorry, I don't want to make it super detailed, but like, it's just me, your family. What's the
family? Like, yeah, whatever your preference is.
Okay, so if it's me and my family, let's say we Airbnb in it, and we got the money, bro, I could probably do 30 days easily, easily a month, no doubt. If I got Wi-Fi, I got cable, we're getting up, we in the South. I'm about to go try to fish, about to maybe get on a boat, get in the water, and it's just a little lake, not an ocean, but like a lake. Yeah, I could easily. Like, I lived in Kentucky, bro. So it's like that for me. It's like, come on, I could do that.
I got a good 2 weeks in me.
2 weeks? That's pretty good for Spike. That's good for Spike. What say you, Rich? How long you can do that?
Summertime.
Oh wow, you talking 3 months?
Yeah, I can do a few months. Yeah, absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie. I was being light, but I might could do. I can.
No questions asked, man. No questions asked. Give me a few ounces. Rolling up every day. I'm out there fishing, grilling.
You know what? I ain't mad if you got all the necessities. You can go up to the local grocery store. You got your. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, this. I always think about the conversation another week in the books. The porch conversation. Sitting on the porch. Like, every time I see this scene, always makes me think about that. So.
Yeah, because it would be intentional. I would be intentional about making sure I recharge for whatever I need to go back to. So I'm taking these 3 months to make sure I'm good, clear it out. Whatever I need to work on, whatever project I said I'm gonna do that shit now. Take the time to embrace it, slow down a little bit, embrace my thoughts, and then I'm right back to the grind. But yeah, for them 3.
You know what else to this scene? Like, you see Tony, and there, I'll speak to this, and I don't want to spend too much time here, but so Tony, when he comes up, there's another scene in the cut, and Tony's sitting there smoking a cigar, like Rich just said, and you can see he's kind of looking around with his eyes, and he's just like embracing and feeling like, wow, I'm here. Like, this is a good feeling. Years ago, before we moved to Florida, we came down to Florida to visit family. And when we came, I got up. I remember we were staying with family. I got up in the morning. I put my headphones in. I said, I'm going to go for a walk. I walked through the neighborhood. I remember walking through the neighborhood with my headphones, and I was looking at the trees, just the trees. Like, the houses were nice. They would look different, clay-looking houses. But I'm looking at the trees. I remember just having the biggest smile on my face. And I was just like, wow, this is it, bro.
There's parts of the country that do that, man. Like, I agree with you. Like, that's how I am when I remember me and Spike recorded the Back of the Bing episode. I was out in Phoenix in March for work. And I just got there. We recorded an episode, and I went to a Suns game that night, just walking around and seeing the palm trees. LA's like that for me. Certain places you go, and it just makes you, it instantly makes you feel better.
Yeah.
It makes you happy. Yeah. Like I feel good right now. I'm glad that I'm here.
And you got to embrace that, like, inhale that air, just take those mental pictures. So this whole farm thing, they're selling it for me. Like, I believe that, like, yo, this means a lot. And it's always that thing where as a civilian, us watching, you like, well, bro, why don't you start setting up a plan to get into a retirement system so that you can live this way? But these guys, they only like it in small dosages, like Spike said. But it's always that thing to me. It's either this type of life or Florida for these guys, so. But anyway, I got on a side tangent, but that was really good, fellas. We go to the dinner with the cousins, and before I even respond, they're having fun. Then all of a sudden, blunt cousin Uncle Al, what is it, Rich? Cousin Uncle Al, cousin Uncle Phil. What is that? What it is?
Nah, it's cousin Uncle Al, cousin Uncle Johnny.
Oh, cousin Uncle Johnny. Them two make the connection. and they start getting it off on Chris. I want to throw the ball in Spike's court because I know you about to cook here. We see Chris starts to get bothered. Chris does the thing that the no you never do. You never tell somebody about a joke after the joke is said and say, "Oh, that joke was for you."
It was about you.
That is like the weakest. What do you think about this scene, Spike?
He's showing why he's the little cousin. You're showing why we did all of these things to you. Like all of that stuff happens. Rich probably can speak to this. He's in a fraternity. Like they do that shit to thicken. They do that shit to thicken your skin.
I'm in the brotherhood.
Like you too. Don't just be.
I'm not on the rich level. I ain't gonna play like that. But I was a little brother, little brother of that. But
all of that stuff is to thicken your skin to show you, like, bro, everything ain't always gonna go your way. Sometimes people are gonna laugh at you. You need to develop thick skin to be able to survive in this world. Mm-hmm. And Chris just keep resorting to being a bitch ass nigga. Oh, I can't take it. Like, y'all, my older cousins are making fun of me. Like, yes, bro, that shit happens. That shit gonna happen until you're dead. Like, people are gonna make fun of you. People are gonna have jokes. And Chris doesn't do a good job of handling this. Like, it's really one of my least favorite Christopher episodes as far as how he's digesting everything. Like, no one was being malicious towards you, bro. Like, no one is trying to make you feel bad. This is how we talk. This is how we joke. You know, if a nigga got to walk on eggshells in order to be around you, now niggas don't want to be around you no more because you acting like a bitch. Mm-hmm. And it was just too much of that for Christopher. Like, and even Tony was trying to like, come on, bro. Like, if you need a drink, take a drink. I ain't gonna judge you either way. It doesn't matter to me. But if you're gonna be acting like a bitch, then I am gonna judge you. So I thought this was brilliant how Tony handled this, how Tony B handled it, and even the writing as far as how we're having to perceive Christopher now, especially with what we know is coming up with long-term parking.
I always look at this scene as the importance of having peers, right? I come from a big family. My grandparents had 12 kids. Like, my mom's number 8 of 12. There's a lot of us, and we're all spread out in different generations. There's like 3 generations of cousins, and I'm in that second generation of cousins. And it's one thing, if I was the only one, then it'd be like, damn. Because every time, because Chris made a point of saying, like, yo, when he was by him, when they by themselves, I'm good. But when they get together, and that's their way of coping. That's their way of really understanding. Like, as kids, it takes us back to this time when that's what we did. We made fun of you. We picked on you. That's never going to stop. You were the little nigga in the crew. Yeah. And we always going to pick on you. Like, the youngest, you always going to have to be the one. You always going to get the store runs. There's never a time where we're going to the store for you. You always going to be the one we send to the store. That just is what it is. But if Chris had other people his age who was involved in his lifestyle that grew up with them and could share them, they can team right back. Like, y'all old niggas, man, y'all did all this. You know what I mean? It'd be a little bit more. Or one of them would be able to pull Chris to the side, like, hey, man, hey, buck up. Like, they want you to do that, man. We ain't about to let that shit slide. Like, fuck them old niggas. Like, we had good times too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's almost kind of like that camaraderie. Yeah, he felt alone, absolutely. Even though they didn't mean anything by it in the grand scheme of things. You could tell by the jokes they saying. Like, they so stupid. Like, all right, man, y'all just corny.
Maybe you should hum me.
Like, yeah, like, y'all up here laughing at this corny shit. I'd have been like, all right, man, whatever. But Chris really took that to heart. I do feel the sobriety thing because, you know, obviously
when you're dealing with that, you're super sensitive. Like, when you're dealing with sobriety, and you're always thinking people are judgmental of the decision that you've made not to drink or smoke or whatever it be anymore. So all of that shit is playing in your head too. My bad to cut you off.
No, you good. I was just gonna say that as well. Like, so that's I personally wouldn't say it, but I also know that Chris is. I also know in the world of Tony and the 2 Tonys, for the sake, that they don't give a fuck about that. They don't understand that, and they're not gonna put the time in to understand. All I know is that you can't drink and you uptight about that shit. Take a drink, turn this shit off a little bit, like, because there's no way you should be getting this sensitive about what we saying. We just fucking around. We just fucking with you.
We've been doing this for years.
And that's how they looking at it.
Varsity athlete.
Yeah, they don't understand, nor do they want to understand what Chris is going through.
Yeah, I didn't like this energy at all, man. Like, I the first few times I watched, I know some people like, oh, Christopher's triggered. Oh, they're picking up Chris. Oh, they're doing.
I do feel bad
in any kind of way, but it's like, nigga, say something back, bro. Like, let me tell y'all, when I was like in middle school, bro, I got picked on from middle school, not really at all, like in high school, but like middle school just for being dark skinned, bro. I heard the worst of jokes. Like, I heard the worst of jokes that was really a blow to my self-esteem. And like, bro, like literally in tears one day because I spoke about it on Another Week in the Books, like because I'm like, damn, like they are really getting at me. Fast forward when I get to college, I got new bros, new friends, and somebody hits me with a dark joke. And then it was just like I'm not about to cry about it and be sensitive. Nigga, say something. Defend yourself. And this is like, Chris, you're sitting there like, bro, defend yourself. But it is at least, if nothing else, get it Blundetto. Like, we get how Tony is. You can't really make jokes with the boss. Like, you can't hit him with the boy or you fat. You see how he felt like, stop making jokes about me. But you can at least get with Blundetto. You know how you hit a nigga with like, I know you ain't laughing. Like, that's exactly the Blund. Oh, because then he tried to do the Ichabod Crane thing, and then that's when Blundetto got quiet.
Because that's what we hung you to the tree for.
Yeah,
like that's the reason for that. So you would be like, nah, you got me fucked up.
Yeah, nah, I can't.
I may not be able to take both of y'all on, but that's what that stuff builds you up for. That's what you are preparing for.
Yeah,
I may not be able to take on all this, but y'all niggas ain't finna put like y'all ain't finna just double team me. Pause.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, so like
I just didn't like the host, and then I'm moving on. But it's just the way. I mean, Michael Imperioli he's just such a great actor and acts really well. It's just the way he does that. Oh, I didn't know that me being sober. I didn't know I was being a douchebag. Like, just got all like extra.
Yeah, you being a douchebag,
bro. You just said you was a soldier, my nigga. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like this is the thing that pisses me off about Chris. He wanted both ways. You want to have these civilian-like feelings and these regular feelings of things, but you want to be a soldier, and you said, that's who I am. Don't ask me to be nothing else. That's what be getting me mad about Chris. Like, bro, pick where you want to go with it. That's why Tony told him in the earlier season, bro, I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Go step outside and figure out what you want to do. Because it's like, now you want to all of a sudden be like this, but bro, really, I saved your life because I sent you to rehab so I didn't have to whack you. And then it's because of Cousin Blundetto that I didn't whack you again. Nigga, stop being so. He's been overly sensitive. I get triggers. I get sobriety. I've done my own classes personally, so I get it. But it's just like, bro, toughen up. You are being mad soft.
Are they trying to tell us that Chris wasn't cut out for this?
I think they've always shown us that Chris wasn't cut out for this. I think Chris was. Chris is just a person that's similar to Tony, but they emphasize it more where he's always looking for acceptance. That's the whole Chris arc, is looking for acceptance.
Well,
I think real quick, I just think they were showing what you always talk about, Spike. They just showing we coming in at the end. This is a new breed that's supposed to lead us, man. We ain't gonna last too long.
Hey, with that's a really good point. And with this, it's such good writing. Mm-hmm. As far as if you take this episode into consideration and you think what you as a viewer thought Chris would have did in long-term parking.
Yeah.
Like, with no spoilers.
Yep.
Like, if you take this episode and you're like, okay, I know what he's gonna do. And then it plays out a different way. Like, this episode doesn't say that at all. This episode is not pointing towards the direction that episode played out in.
Yeah.
Like, you think Chris is like on the outs this episode.
But think about it.
It speaks to the brilliance of the series.
But think about it.
Because it's just 2 episodes later, you're like,
but think about it. The acceptance thing, that's the through line. That's the through line. They even use it in many sayings. It's like, that's the person I'm going to hell for. Like, all of the things he's doing. Hey, remember, he kept emphasizing, hey, remember that thing I did for you, T? He kept saying that because the whole time Chris has wanted to be seen, and he wants this acceptance. He's looking for something that would never probably fulfilled. Even he's like, oh, so Jackie, remember when we had the Jackie Jr. conversation? Oh, so it's good enough for him not to be in the mob, but not me. Like, there's this whole through line of this acceptance thing that Chris has been looking for. Now, but here's the crazy thing, and no spoilers, but how crazy is it that Tony is here with both cousins? And we know where things go. How crazy is that, though? You ever think about that?
No spoilers here.
I'm about to say I'm not trying to get too deep.
I'm just saying I ain't going into. I'm just saying, have you ever thought about that?
Just the thought of it is getting into it.
All right.
I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I better let it go.
My ears.
Nigga said, hey,
my ears.
No, you're not talking about that email again, please.
Nah, I'm not even talking about the email. I was just stuff you do, like no spoilers, but
let's spoil this.
I said I wasn't going to mention the plane, but look at the plane.
Shit, man. And they said, man, I'm not reading. No.
Look, all right. Look, the listeners gonna be like, bro, y'all, please.
No, I promise you, people that get this show are gonna think this is that.
People that get the show are gonna be
as like, funny as me and Rich thought it was. They're gonna laugh at it too.
You probably right. Like people gonna be like,
bro,
that was nuts.
That's right.
I'm not exaggerating, Mo, when I tell you, bro. That was one of the wildest things I've ever seen.
That ain't touching that trunk story though.
To decommit. That's right up there with it. To decommit from like
midway through.
Decommit.
That's why. Listen. That's why. That's
why this is so funny to me, because Mo gets these emails early. I'm talking to the listeners now. Like Mo reads this shit. Like he sent it to us sometimes. Like he sees this shit far in advance. This wasn't the first time he's seen that email, but today he decided. Today in that moment, he's like, "Nah, I ain't doing this."
That's why.
That is fascinating to me, bro.
That's why I asked him. I said, "Hey, before you started this, did you have every intention to read that full thing?" He said, "Yes." That makes it even funnier. Because he really did. Bro. Like in my heart, I was going to read this, and I got here and I read that first paragraph, and I told myself, man, fuck this.
Fuck this.
I mean,
God, that was funny.
I
like
really,
you don't know
I deal
how
with things
funny
in real
was,
time.
bro.
I try to deal with things in real time, and in real time, that's where I was.
God damn.
Yeah, keep it real
stopped
organic.
in the middle of it. That was crazy.
That was crazy. This is gonna be an episode y'all listen back like, yo, that was Spike might listen back just for that. Just for that moment, Spike may go back and listen to that first portion of the episode just to hear that. Like that might be just some laughter.
You were so committed, though. You were so committed. You said, "I'm gonna read these emails." He had them ready and everything.
He even started it out by saying, "Yeah, we told." Hey, he said we said last week. Hey, hold on, Spike. I'm just now thinking about this shit. He said, "Yeah." So last week we said we was gonna read Michelle's. So let's go ahead and get it. You hyped it up. You put it on hold to read it.
We asked him to read it last week. Rich, what's crazy what made it so funny. Last week I was like, "Well, what's the other email?"
You
could have acted. You could have acted. Hold on, Mo. You could have acted like you forgot and just not read it. Like the fact that you really
I didn't want to not keep my word. I try to if I say something, I'm gonna do it. So that's why I didn't want to not keep it.
Michelle listening and thinking to herself, it would have been better if you forgot. And starting my shit and then just saying, "Nah, I'm cool."
We appreciate you, Michelle. That made our week. I'm gonna laugh.
Michelle became popular on this episode for sure. Like that should be more than the email, really. Just like whoever the Michelle listener, people gonna like try to find like where is she and can we find her Instagram? Like hit her up. Like
nigga said, "You know what? Thank you."
There's another week in the books episode. I did the same thing, and Spike know what I'm talking about. Spike knows the episode, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So
oh God.
At this age, I ain't got time. Like I just don't got time. But
you thought you did. That's what makes it funny.
I thought I did.
That's
but
what made it funny.
I found out about it. I found out I was wrong.
I just never realized how much I do not care.
Yeah.
Like
all right. I ain't gonna say I didn't care. That ain't. See, look at
he looked at the rest of that email. He like, there's like 4 more paragraphs. I'm cool.
He tried to drive me to a narrative now. Like I ain't. It ain't that I don't care. Nah. Look, I ain't gonna do that. It ain't that I don't care. Michelle.
Oh shit.
It's not that I don't care, Michelle. It was just again. We listeners don't send us a review of the whole episode scene by scene when we do a 2.5 hour review. I'll tell you right now, moving forward, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to tell you, I'm a pre-read, and if I see that's what it is, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to tell you right now. So that
you are going to bring it up and act like you're going to read it.
No, I will never do that again. Like I'm telling you right now, if you do a whole breakdown review of every scene of the episode or like the standouts, I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna read it. So,
you're right. I am gonna go back and listen to this.
Nah, I know just for that. That alone.
God, jeez, that nigga said, "You know what?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good, love."
Damn, bro.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm just giving y'all that clue, and so don't send us like give us.
I don't think that'll ever happen again.
We'll never get another.
It won't. Now listen,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that will never happen again because no one is gonna.
No, I would prefer if y'all want to give y'all own rankings. I'll take that. That's cool. Send in the rankings if you want to talk your own rankings. That's cool, but don't.
The most we about to get is enjoy the episode. Enjoy the episode, fellas. Keep it up.
They're not gonna. Look, now, don't be intimidated, y'all.
Niggas gonna keep it short and brief.
Nah, it ain't that type of thing. Just don't give us the review of the episode when we reviewed it. We get Tony watching the news, and pretty much they just talk about the dangers of the containers and terrorists and being able to get in through that or whatever. Obviously, it ties into a later scene, but I don't care. I don't care about this. Like whatever.
You talking about season 6 stuff?
No. I mean, maybe it could tie into season 6, kind of, but like, I mean, maybe it did. But I just didn't care about it. Like, I didn't care. To me, it just ties into the later scene of Tony's these inconveniences that get him frustrated, and he can't deal with his anger.
I got you.
So I didn't have nothing to add to that morning watching the news. I don't know if y'all did, but whatever.
Nah,
just his reaction to it. Yeah, he can't do shit about it.
Yeah.
It's crazy time. If you were functional back in 04, 05, them years, them few years after 9/11, man, it was a crazy time to be alive.
Definitely was a crazy time to be alive. Man. And again, this is in our lifetime, as we spoke pre-air. All this is witness.
Tired of living through life,
like historical events.
Events,
bro. We get Tony and Blundetto they're back at the Bing. Tony is ranting about something he doesn't really care about, which is obviously the news thing or whatever. This is where they're really starting to make us dislike Tony right here. This is where they're really driving that thing.
Well, let me ask you something. I know you're going
I'm sorry.
with this.
I'm sorry. I skipped the morning at Uncle Pat's. So let me step back a second before I get there. But Tony kind of rants about the news a little bit. Then they said start making a joke about Chris. Chris pretty much again being sensitive, gets out, drives out. He's got the tears.
I feel bad for Chris.
I used to until this watch. This watch was the first time I was watching. I'm like, this was the first time I watched, and I was just like, bruh, get over it. It's not like these dudes tied you back up in the tree. They giving you noogies. They putting you in a bear lock. One of them grabbing your arms, your legs, and they doing like the immature. They're making jokes, bro. I feel like, Tony, you need to have a drink.
Yeah, I'm with Mo.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. I always felt bad until this time. This time I did not. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm crying. I'm driving. I can't believe they're saying, bro, get over it.
Yeah, you're a grown-ass man at this point.
Paulie done make jokes about you. Seal done make jokes about everybody. Big P make jokes. Everybody make jokes about you, dude. Relax. Like, he even spoke
why do you get to be sensitive? Like, why you the nigga to get to be sensitive, bro? Like, all of us do this. Everybody bust balls. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, stop.
Yeah, people get their balls busted, bro. That's how it go. Like, stop, toughen up, nigga. Like, I don't have nothing for you. Like, you driving off crying because they making jokes about you. You want to be extra sensitive and be a drama queen and walk out and drive with your tears off playing your Mary J. Blige. Man, nigga, toughen up, bro. What we doing?
You niggas are animals. But let's go ahead and keep going.
Said I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Head ass. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, y'all niggas some animals. But let's keep going. nigga just dog that nigga.
We're victim shaming. Is that what we're doing? Oh, victim shaming. You get everything on this podcast.
In my head, it's more funny because I'm picturing Chris like crying in the front seat. And I'm thinking about if y'all was in the back.
Cut the music up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass.
Get your crybaby ass in the back seat.
Like, hey man, I'm weak. I'm like, y'all niggas is crazy.
Okay, just quickly. Why are we crazy? Because you felt bad. Why did you feel bad? What was it specifically?
Nah, just from a human level, I don't personally care. Like, it wasn't about Christopher. I just saw an individual who just couldn't get it. Like, he just can't get shit right, man. He living in a world that don't fit him. He can't get nothing. He don't know where he fit. He's losing sense of himself. From a human perspective, it's just like, damn, man, I feel bad for this person because I'm sure that's a rough spot. I don't care personally as far as Chris Moltisanti.
Yeah.
But it was more just on the human level. But it's just funny to hear y'all because that shit was. I'm more on the side of that, but to see because there's something about those. There's something about those tears when nobody's around.
You know what I mean?
That's
true. That's true.
Like he mean that shit. Like I'm not even trying to put on no show. Like I'm really hurt.
No, he for real.
So
hurt.
I think that's what makes me like, damn, like this wasn't this wasn't him just soaking around. Yeah. Y'all niggas. Hey, it'd be one thing if he was just soaking around the farm. If he was soaking around the farm, I'd say everything y'all was saying. Like, bruh, nigga, put your chest out, nigga. Put your head up. Stop acting like a bitch. But that nigga was by himself and had to let all that shit marinate, and that shit was coming out. Like he was really sad. Like he was really sorry.
See, for me, here's what, and maybe it's because it didn't. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say it didn't work, but it's like. To me, if they tried to pull off a prank on Chris, that would have worked better. As far as, we're supposed to sympathize. This is another layer with Christopher Moltisanti. Because they tied him up to a tree when he was young. And so let's say they're kicking it with him. They're like, it's all good. And then they try to pull a prank as grown men trying to be immature in the moment. That, to me, would have worked better than they just getting jokes off because their chemistry is already there. And they did this back in the day. That didn't work for me because it didn't fit. Because Chris was crying like he was being bullied all over again. But to me, it's like, no, you're getting these jokes off because this is how we always have done it. If they did something to try to almost like if they threw Chris in the lake or something, I like, oh man, yeah, hey, I think I might have seen a skull or a bone there, and then they threw him in the lake. Then it'd be like, then that would be like, hey, you know what? I gotta go. Now I will feel Chris more like, damn, I thought we were cool, we were cousins, we kicking it. Now y'all back to pranking me again. That action to me would have been more believable, or not believable, but I would have sympathized more with Chris. But bro, we talking words. Like, and these words were not even to the core. We talking about your nose, talking about a nose job, nigga. Like,
I think the issue with Chris is he wasn't grown. He wasn't raised in an environment that emphasized love. I'm sure there weren't little random moments where somebody wrapped their arm around Chris and told him, "Hey, man, I love you." Or, hey, no matter what I say or how much I tease you, I love you. Like, I really care about you as a human being. I care about you as a person. I'm sure he didn't get that. So his grown self reversed back to his younger self to where all these jokes and shit, I already feel away. I don't feel love because you didn't give me the casino. I don't feel love because y'all always picking on me and making jokes about me. I don't feel love from the fellas because I got to be sober and I can't be around y'all. Mm-hmm. I think if he knew where he stood and didn't need that I guess reminder, it might be different. Either way, it's some shit Chris got to deal with.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. That's all. I'm not saying it's all on Tony or whatever. Chris needs to unpack. Chris has done foul, miserable, terrible things. So I'm not sitting here crying for Chris. Mm-hmm. It's just an interesting thing when I think about it.
It is an interesting thing.
I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next scene.
Okay.
Because I know you were getting that. You said this is where they really trying to make you hate Tony. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, we've seen Tony for no reason at all whoop on Georgie. Mm-hmm. What makes this different than those other times?
Because Georgie actually made sense this time.
Even if he didn't make sense before then, what gives Tony the right to just be whooping on that man?
It don't give Tony the right, but it gives the right where okay, you're being ignorant. Change over the phone. Like, hey, bro, just switch over the phone, and you're aggravating me. This moment is like, no, he actually made legitimate sense. He just said, oh, I think we got to live for the day. I just say we got to live for the day, and it's like
I don't think Georgie deserved none of them whoopings he got.
No, Georgie didn't deserve any of them. Like, I ain't saying oh, you had that coming. I'm saying that this time they try to make it like, oh, Georgie's not stupid or he's not ignorant in this response. What he said actually made sense. They intentionally wrote it for him to say something that actually made sense and even doubling down and repeating it. So that way, when we get to the point of Tony, pretty much hitting him with the ice bucket or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And again,
hey, Tony whooped his ass, bro.
This is why, again, to me, it just.
But would you also all of it? It's wrong. Yes, he didn't deserve any of those ass whoopings. But part of the problem is George, you got to know when to shut the fuck up, man. Like, just shut up, bro. Like, nobody's talking to you. There's no benefit. Niggas ain't gonna be like, oh man, Georgie made a great point. That's never going to happen. Just learn when to shut up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come
on. He should never even. Yeah, you shouldn't even
keep the ice cold and serve drinks.
Right, I hear y'all, but I'm not even engaging enough. Like, I'm never going to. After the first ass whooping, he should have understood that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, speak when you spoken to.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, bro, Ralph Cifaretto hit him in the face with a chain, bro.
Almost took his eye out.
That's what I'm saying. That's it.
He was almost blind.
I can't believe he kept working at the Bing at that point.
Nah, that's real. I was about to say that too.
And literally, Georgia didn't do nothing that day. Like, Georgia was opening the door, getting $50, and he's getting his blowjobs. You know what I'm saying? But like, literally, Ralphie been on that coke and been on that, like, just hit him with the. It's crazy, bro. Dang, I miss Ralph.
That's wild.
It's as at the entertainment value he brings to the show. Like, he shakes things up so strongly. Like, a Blundetto couldn't replace that. You know what I'm saying?
Phil could.
Yeah.
Phil's up there. I don't think nobody top Ralph though. As far as entertainment quality, there's just nobody like that level of excitement and randomization. I don't think nobody could do what was done with that character. Like, you don't know what Ralphie gonna do next. Like that. Some of my favorite stuff, but we'll speak to that when we talk the best season of Sopranos. Anything else you want to add to this Bada Bing scene?
Nah.
Okay. It's the morning that Tony and Paulie pulls up, and Paulie comes over to update Tony about Georgie. And Tony has a Gumar that's a dermatologist. She look good, nice, attractive woman.
You remember her?
No, I don't. No.
She was the nurse or whatever. I don't know her official title. When Tony got that cancerous mole removed,
if that makes sense.
Regular around the margins, that's her.
How do you pull this off?
Because I'm Tony Soprano, nigga. I double back. What's good?
Come on, bro.
But I'm saying, like, this ain't a money, like, I imagine some of the Gumars a little money, a little blow this out, but like Tony actually
I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit.
Tony. Send her some flowers, flex a little bit.
So you think his charm can still work even with that?
We don't know how many times he went over there to see her though. Like, we don't know what he did. He's got it could have been like he may have sent it may have been some Melfi shit. Like, he sent her a gift or some shit like that because he noticed she was cute. Mm-hmm. Like, it just shows that he knows how to get bitches.
He hitting her with the lines, "I want your mouth."
Yeah, she'll go for that. She'll go for that.
She'll
know what it is. I was just on the news, baby. You seen me? Like, you seen
oh yeah, you get that off. Maybe I can see that. Maybe she wanted a little excitement. She's a dermatologist.
Yeah, like, she's trying to spice up her life.
Yeah, break down the mundaneness of things.
You'll call me?
Nah, yeah, you know what? I can see that because that's normally
you'll never hear from me again.
But I'm with a gangster. Like, I'm excited. This is exciting for me. Yeah, I can see that. That demographic,
that little soccer mom. God, you never know. I met Tony Soprano.
You're right.
Yeah, like,
you're right. Okay, y'all made it's all making plenty sense to me.
Hey, nigga, if you drop another motherfucker Drake line, bro,
too late, bro.
This nigga,
I've been trying to ignore him the best I could.
Hey, now he been going crazy this episode. I'm like, hey, man.
Man. Oh shit, it's all making sense.
Hey, this nigga Bo crazy, man. You putting up Wilt numbers this episode, Mo.
I'm putting up Wilt numbers.
You putting up Wilt numbers.
I tell y'all, man, y'all stuck with me.
The email was 100 ball. The email was 100 ball.
That was the 100-point game right there.
It was 100
we got footage of that. People been looking for.
They've been looking for the footage.
I promise to God, Mo, when I tell you, I've never seen that before. That was amazing.
Stop,
to watch it.
Please.
That was amazing to watch in real time.
Stop, bro. They're acting like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, it's reading an email. Like, and it's not.
That was some once in a lifetime type shit. Now that was a Will Hunter ball.
You are really good at this because you know how to really build a narrative. This guy's good. This is the guy with the tenure in the podcast space because he really built this thing. Like, this is some crazy. Man, y'all good, boy.
Hey, that was 100 ball right there.
Y'all really good, man.
My nigga said, I ain't reading this shit, man.
That is the theme of this episode. I ain't reading.
Shout out Michelle, man.
Shout out to Michelle, man.
Damn.
So we get Paulie comes over and he tells him that I told him to wash his mouth and stuff, whatever. He pretty much tried to give him some money, and we find out finally, I think this is our last time that we see Georgie. He's officially leaving the Bing. Dang, Georgie been here since season 1, man.
They don't want to see you anymore, Tone.
Yeah.
Make sure he gets the best. Tone looks so serious.
He just Carmela and Rosalie, they briefly talk about her telling Wegler she's getting back with Tony, and she's like, "Why did you say that?" It's like, I don't know.
Didn't we say this last week? This is exactly how Rosalie would have been pressing him about Tony coming through. Like we see Rosalie own it already. Like what you doing? What happened?
What?
Who said
Rosalie
was
like
a better
what?
friend? Who said Rosalie was a better friend? Which one of y'all?
I think it was Rich.
No. Spike said Rosalie was a better friend. I said that Gabby. I said that she is the better friend in real life. However, Carmela ain't trying to hear none of that shit. So that's why I said Gabby.
That's true.
Carmela wants a yes man.
Got you.
Facts. You did. Yep, that is true.
She ain't trying to sit here and get questioned about why you do this and that. Gabby wasn't asking none of these questions.
Right.
Rosalie was like, "Bitch, what are you doing?" Like,
what's going on? Shit don't make no sense.
Rosalie is a wild. Right, wild. I love
Rosalie. Was like, "What? You told him what?"
I love Rosalie, man.
You going back to him? Then why you say it?
Then why you say it?
What you on? Like, where they come from? One of my so-called niggas. Tony comes over for dinner, and here we go. Here we go. Janice is controlling her anger. She picks up when a telemarketer calls, and she pretty much tells him like, "Hey, no, I'm not interested. Can please not call this house again."
Hang up.
Yeah, like she's just like going through it. Then she looks at the daughter. Daughter tries to get the Tahitian treat or whatever you want to call it.
You made this shit real black.
It's a Tahitian treat. That was crazy.
And
it was a Hawaiian punch. It was clearly a Hawaiian punch.
I know.
Tahitian treat on purpose.
I'll put the finesse on it.
I don't know about y'all. I don't even know if this is still a thing, but I know when we was younger, wasn't nothing like that Hawaiian punch out the can. That 2-liter ain't none of that, but that can Hawaiian punch, that shit was different.
Bro, to be honest,
that's the best
anything
one,
in the can is the better. It's best, mostly.
You said what?
I ain't gonna even lie. Most things out of the can is the better version, with the exception of like a Coca-Cola out of a bottle. But like most things out of the can is the better version than anything.
I know the Hawaiian punch was special though.
Just the gap. Yeah, the gap, the difference of 20-ounce versus can.
Yeah,
like I can get away with a lot of things, but that Hawaiian punch out the can was
special. It was special. Summer camp days, that was special.
Yeah.
You get spending them 60 cents,
bro. You get the red lips. You get the red lips after, bro. Come on,
that shit $2 now. 12-ounce can of Coke, $2 now.
Bro, I want to go. I was in the candy aisle the other day. I saw a fucking
candy bars are $4 now.
Yeah, bro. For like not the king size joint, the regular. I wanted a Butterfinger.
Regular joints.
How much was the Butterfinger, bro? Rich?
The Butterfinger was $3.25.
Regular?
The regular one, no king size joint. Yeah, the king size joint damn near $5. That shit wild, man. Crazy. I used to get them shits for 50 cents.
I have so much more respect for my grandma and like the older people that I grew up around when they used to be like, "Oh, this used to be a quarter." And we would look at them like, "Man, shut up, man. This shit was never no quarter, bro." Like, stop. Why you lying, bro?
I'm telling your grandma to shut up.
You thinking that in your head. You know you ain't say that out loud.
I know, but it's just funny to
But you thinking like it's impossible. Like this shit expensive. Like this shit 50 cents now. Ain't no way this shit
bro,
be a dime.
I remember going to Dollar General and candy was 10 cents. Like there was candy like a Chico stick. You can get a little mini Chico stick. 10 cents. Sugar baby, sugar daddy, 10 cents.
That shit 50 cents now.
I promise, bro. You can get a flavored water, 50 cents.
I remember the $4 for $1 chips.
Man, bro. The quarter bag of chips. We call it the quarter bag of chips.
You go to the store with $1 and be straight. You can get you a drink,
we used
chips, a cake, and some candy.
Bro, we would search through our grandma's house finding coins all over. And when my auntie was going to Walmart, we were straight because we knew with $2.75 it's lit.
I'm good.
It's lit. It's up.
Man, it's crazy now, man. Yeah, don't get me depressed.
We sound old as hell.
Don't get me depressed. Yeah, we sound real old. Shit. Don't even get me depressed. Like,
hopefully people listening can relate to this. Because
I'm pretty sure our fan base.
Those were the fucking days, man.
Yeah, those are the days. Well, I'm pretty sure our fan base is not super, super young.
Yeah.
But who knows? We get to our final scene of the episode. Tony comes over for dinner. Like I said, Janice is controlling her anger with the telemarketer. And I got to say that Ada, I think that's how you say it, Ada Torturo, when they get to the dinner part, and even how James Gandolfini is playing it, how he's eating, and even like whoever shot it with the camera, how they're getting that perfect focus. You can see Janice talking, but you see Tony having that like petty face. Like he's like, you full of it for real? And like, it's so good, bro, because she was getting in a positive bag. She's getting her life together. She's living her best life now. She figured out what's the triggers of her anger. And so Tony immediately knows and that's the thing about family. Only family can get you this hot.
I know the buttons. I know where all the skeletons buried at, nigga. I know where all the skeletons buried at, nigga.
Bruh. This nigga's
Tony did he did the Save the Last Dance. Watch me squash this shit.
Bruh. Bruh. He
all
up in your nut. Come on,
and
bro.
The thing that made this awful, it was for no reason at all other than I see that you are doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it ain't nothing that you said to me. You didn't provoke this. It's only man, this bullshit. I'm gonna sniff this bullshit out because I'm Tony Soprano and I can't let this shit ride on my watch.
Well, I can't have her looking better than me.
Crazy to watch. Not even that's one perspective, Mo. I don't even think it was her looking better than me. It's just like, I'm not going to let you get this off in my presence. I know you. I know the real you. I ain't finna I'm just not going to do it. Not even being able to concede that's my sister. I love her. She trying to get this off cool. I'm rocking with her. Like, not even being able to come to that conclusion in your head, just being like, nah, I got to put you under me. I got to show you that this is bullshit. That was crazy to watch.
Bruh, the way she played it, that just the slow build when he brings up Harpo for the first time, and
I'm his uncle,
and like before we get there, they're still sitting down. And it's like he's like, man, yeah, Harpo, I wonder what's that song called from, what's that one song? And she's chewing it. It's like you see how bothered she gets. Okay, make fun of the boy because his name is French, and so they're like, who's Harpo, the kid? So now it's like it's becoming his bigger thing. And so the way she played it, though, she's like chewing, but she's doing the Tony thing in her version, breathing. And so she's moving her hair and she's trying to still stay cool and calm. I said, bro, the way she built towards the anger, I said, bro, they did such a good job of casting because they feel like brother and sister. I was like, oh,
they look alike. It looks like Tony.
It
looks like Tony going through this 100%.
Yes. And so the way he do, I wonder what's French for I grew up without a mother.
Hey, this is easily one of his pettiest moments.
Oh, this
throughout the whole series.
This is it.
I don't know a pettier.
This is it.
No, there is no other.
This was so petty.
No, there's not another level. This is the pettiest. Tony,
there's no reason.
Spike broke it down. Spike broke it down perfectly. Why? That's why it's the pettiest, because I didn't. If I wanted to be this petty, it would have made more sense to be this petty at the beginning when my name was still in the news. Now I'm just being petty because I don't believe you. For no other reason than I don't believe you, this new person.
Bruh.
I know you better than anybody. I know where all your buttons are. Let's see how real this shit is. Let me bring up some shit that I know gonna piss you off.
Bro.
If you pass that test, and I'll probably never bring this shit up again.
Bro, this is the same woman that came back talking about my name is Parvati.
Yeah, you same chick.
Your name is Parvati or whatever. You know what I mean?
He was so satisfied once he got her to snap.
Bruh.
Like, it was
the funniest.
We should do that. Back of the bean, we should do top 10 pettiest Tony Soprano moments.
One of the
I will see what the other 9 is, because obviously this is number 1.
This definitely, the spoiler alert, this is number 1.
This definitely
this is number 1. You know probably one of the funniest things about this scene is when you see the buildup. Like, you see the look, you see Tony looking at her talking with that just look at disgust.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And there's a small moment where Bobby says, "Good eggplant, Jan," and then Tony, like, still disgusted and breaks out of it. He's playing along like, "Oh yeah, delicious."
Yeah.
Like, let me like, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, delicious. Bro. Like,
this is good.
he was even pissed how she handled the coke with the kid situation. Like you said, like he was just like, yeah. That didn't piss her off.
But see, look,
like, he was mad that didn't make her mad.
What did I say earlier about shared experience, right?
What?
We grew up in the same house. That's not our experience. That's not how we handle things.
That ain't how that go.
You ain't about to fool me. I know you don't handle shit like this because I was right there your entire life, bro. Like, you mad as hell. You want to smack the dog shit out of her. Like, I'm about to bring old Janice back.
Here's a hot take before we get out of here. This scene shows that actually Tony is more like Livia than Janice is. I think this is what it is. That whole misery thing bringing you down. This is what it is.
Facts.
Like the show that Tony is more. This is
like what Dr. Melfi is talking about.
Yeah,
this is what Dr. Melfi is trying to help him realize. Yeah. This is what he should be in therapy for. This is what he should be getting addressed versus trying to be a better criminal through therapy. Dr. Melfi is trying to point this part of him out, and he is so resistant to it because he don't believe it. But this is a perfect example of how it plays out. I wonder what's without a mother in French Canadian.
Sacre bleu.
Where's me mama?
Where's me ma? Sacre bleu.
He was so satisfied. That's crazy.
He walked with his hands. You know how satisfied you are when you there was a,
put your hand in your pocket like that,
bro. When there was a smiling moment, like she's like, oh, and then she looked at him and then he smiled at her. Like there's
not even that
smile in the midst of Bobby grabbing her up. That's how I know he's like, oh yeah, I got your ass. And then nigga puts his hands in his pockets and walks so calmly. Like I don't even know where he parked at, bro.
Because think about it. But think about this. But think about this. Well, remember, and this is great storytelling about Sopranos. Remember when Janice was living at the crib. When Bobby's wife, when Karen first died, remember she was looking out with the binoculars. So that they lived next door to each other. They not maybe directly, but they lived in the same neighborhood. It was walking distance.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
It was no surprise. It's no surprise that the show ended this like he was walking down Mayberry. Like them old shows in the 50s and 60s when you had the leaves falling,
you had the kids out.
You got people outside on their bikes. Just a regular neighborhood, people just being friendly. Hey, Mr. Soprano. Hey, how you doing, kids? That was that kind of look. It was just a show. This is his bliss. That's how sick Tony is. Pissing Janice off and really getting that reaction out of her to the point where she's crying in Bobby's arms. Mm-hmm. That made my day. Now I feel like I feel the same way.
Everything's perfect.
I feel the same way them kids did when they was walking down Mayberry. It's safe. It's a great day in the neighborhood. This is Mr. Rogers shit. Like, I'm at ease now because I just pissed off my sister. Tony is sick. Like, think about the way this episode ended. Like I said, the leaves and all that shit, bro. They did that shit on purpose. Like, this is you know how happy you got to be to walk?
With your hands in your pocket.
Put your hands in your pocket.
You want to take a stroll.
He ain't in no rush either, too. It's like, I'm comfortably getting a nice brisk.
Taking it all in.
Man, that's crazy. But that is our episode, man. I did an edit on that recently. I had to put the Jeezy on that joint. Last time I checked, I was the man on these. I had to put that joint. I'd just be ignorant. But that is our episode. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Before we get out of here, though, we like to leave with a ranking. So without further ado, Spike Lou, we really in the bag now of season 5. Like Rich was telling us, we about to go somewhere. So how do you rank this episode this week?
This is a good one. Okay. I almost made it a made episode because of it. But it's a good one.
Yep. I'm with you. What say you, Rich?
Same. It's a good earner. And it's not top tier. I couldn't give it a made. I felt like if I gave it a made, I'd just be giving it away.
Riding the momentum of the
it's a good earner. Yeah.
A lot of good stuff in here,
a lot of good stuff.
Made. Yeah.
It was so close. It needed. It
was close.
I need a couple more things. I don't know what, but
a major plot turn. A major plot turn in this episode would have made it made.
Okay,
but there was no major plot turn. Like everything that we seen here, we already knew. Mm-hmm. It was just so well done. It was well done, but it did make it made.
Yeah, I think you're right. One big plot turn. So but it was more setup than plot turn.
Yep.
So I think I like that. Spike Lou, who gets the good earner chain for this episode?
The good earner chain for this episode goes to very small screen time and maybe favoritism, but I'm going to Johnny Sack, man. Like I know y'all niggas. I know y'all niggas is holding out on me, and I can't tell where or when, but I'm gonna tell you what. Everything I do got control of. I'm gonna take advantage of, because y'all need me and I don't need y'all. So Johnny Sack with the power play is my good earner for this episode.
I like it. Rich.
Might be the first time I've ever done this. I'm giving my Good Earner Award to somebody who wasn't even in the episode. Giving it to Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior had bodies that could have came back to haunt him without even lifting a finger, without even being aware of what was going on. Had somebody to go ahead and take care of that problem for him to make sure there wasn't no heat on him for the rest of the way. To be that self-aware, Tony could have easily been like, fuck it. My dad's going, so if they do catch my uncle, oh, well. But he already knows it brings too much heat to the family, too much heat to business. Uncle Junior didn't have to lift a finger to get a problem taken care of when he already got a ton of other shit going on.
Fair enough. I'm going Carmella, man. She don't get a lot of wins, but that to me, that was such a big dog play draining that pool, bro. I love that type of petty because she don't got a lot of weapons. You know, that's 2 weapons right there. Like what?
You funny, man.
Man. Such a traitor.
What? These guys, bro. They have been killing me this episode, man. All right, that's why I'm gonna leave it. I ain't gonna go no further than that. But like Carmella,
that nigga said he loved that. That was crazy, Mo.
That was fine.
The only joy I get as a man is going to swim in my pool, and you drain it. And try to act like you don't know,
bro. Because
too much money.
You act like you don't know.
Oh my
these
God,
cheeks, and you want to just wave me off like we ain't got no conversation to have. I'm the mother of your kids, bro. You can pull up and have a conversation with me. You don't even want to talk to me. You just want to hop in the pool, nigga. No, like I felt that. I'm like, I get it. I'm not a woman, but I get where she coming from.
Fair.
Like you gonna talk to me now. We gonna have some conversation.
That's fair.
But who has the broken balls for this episode? For you, Spike.
Broken balls awards for me in this episode is Christopher. Whole lot of bitching, whole lot of like just stuff that I did not agree with. Even though I get it, I totally understand. Like Rich put it perfectly. Man by himself crying in the Hummer. I get it. I'm supposed to care, but I don't. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just don't, man. Like you signed up for this, bro. So Chris is for me.
Rich, who get the broken balls for you?
Exactly the same answer, man. Chris got it. Chris got the broken balls, man. Like I said, you a grown ass man by yourself crying in the Hummer. It's a rough day, man. You had a rough.
Crazy.
And like for real, to break it down even further, I'd rather have like the hysterical cry than the soft silent cry. That means I'm really going through it. The hysterical cry, that means I'm really in tune with my feelings. I'm letting it all out. Like I need to cleanse myself of this. The soft cry,
I don't even know why I'm crying. That's
different.
The one that hurts.
That's diabolical.
That's like, damn, what am I crying
like
for?
Deeply rooted cry, like you're deeply bothered.
That's the damn. I can't believe I'm crying about this shit. Cry like that,
yeah, that shit rough, man. Yeah, Chris got to get the broken balls award.
Yeah, I'm going. We're going trips on that because that was like mad weak. Just like that joke about such and such that was about you.
Was about you, man.
That was the
eat your steak, bro. Eat your steak.
Yeah, bro. Like, get you a Coca-Cola. Get you a can or something, bro.
Go have some ice cream, bitch.
Bro, he was like, break your sobriety because you get on my damn nerves.
Tell them to go have some ice cream, bitch ass.
Bro, like, that's crazy. Telling somebody to break their life change because you get on my nerves.
Have a drink.
Like, have a drink. Like,
what is you talking about?
Like, yeah, that's crazy.
That shit wild.
Yeah. Spike Lee, what's your favorite line from the episode?
My favorite line, we talked about it earlier. I didn't dive into it because I knew this would be my favorite line, but Johnny Sack, man, a lot of things happened that seemed like they didn't happen. Like your cousin limping away from a fucking murder scene from a guy who I consider my protege. So yeah, a lot of things happened that they didn't seem like they happened.
Bar too. That's one of the contenders.
And my winner up was don't act like you weren't begging for it in a million different ways. When Carmella was talking to Tony, yeah.
That's good. That's good right dope. There.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What say you, Rich?
What's that? My favorite line of the episode?
Your favorite line of the episode.
Man, I ain't reading all this shit.
I was small.
Bruh.
Man, I ain't reading all this shit. That's That's my favorite line of the episode.
Nah, that ain't of the episode of.
Hey, I tell you,
Sopranos,
if you ain't never watched,
not Good Earners.
Never watched a YouTube episode of Good Earners, this is the one you need to watch. And please start from the beginning. And when Mo was reading Michelle email, like the look on his face when he realized, like, I ain't doing this.
I can't.
Like there was a look on his face. He realized it. He realized it in real time. Like, I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not like this. There's no way on earth I'm doing this. Like there's nothing that anybody could do to make me do it. Like, I'm not doing this.
Oh,
and
shit.
that right there, that is classic. Oh
yeah,
shit.
This is a classic moment for sure.
My real line of the episode is it wasn't all bad. Let's take a step real quick. Let's just take a step real quick and just, no matter how this turns out, we gotta at least remember between ourselves, this shit wasn't all bad. We got two beautiful kids out of it. We had a lot of good times, a lot of good memories. It's fucked up right now, but it wasn't all that. Like we ain't got to go out like this.
I like that.
Hey, Spike's stupid, man.
My nigga said, hey, don't send us emails breaking down the show.
Hey, niggas started giving out directions on how to send emails in.
He said, don't send us emails breaking down the show after we broke down the show already.
Am I tripping? Please, yes or no?
Nigga,
I'm tripping for somebody to hit us with a review after we reviewed it.
My nigga said, hey, don't send us emails after we broke the show down already.
Breaking
it down even more.
Spike, you know how annoyed you get about stuff. You know good and dang on well. Come on, bro. If somebody hit y'all on
it's the fact that you said it though, like, and you meant it. You meant that shit.
I definitely meant it. Yeah,
you meant that shit.
Shit, man. And he said, hey, don't send us shit breaking down the show after we broke down.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it.
I mean that though. I'm not gonna do that again.
Shout out Michelle, man.
Yeah, shout out to her. They probably like, we know her personally. We don't know her at all.
Nah, we don't know.
My line of the episode though is Janice said she lucky I didn't kill her. And Tony said, yeah, we know that.
Yeah, we know.
I was like, yeah. I was like, that was a bar right there.
And Bobby's reaction too, like, what's that?
Yeah, right, exactly. And lastly, Spike Lee, what is your favorite moment from this episode?
My favorite moment from this episode is the first scene, man, with Tony and Johnny Sack and Phil and Benny there. It's like shit different now, bro. It ain't the same. I ain't the same Johnny Sack that me and you was cool with. We gonna talk at the pier and, you know, we'll come to a resolution because we're friends. Like, I'm pissed. Somebody whacked my little mans. And I think it was your people. And that's going to be a consistent that's going to be a consistent theme from here to the end.
Yeah.
So that was a dope ass scene to me.
Streets need a body.
Yeah, streets need a body.
All right, Rich, what's your favorite moment?
My favorite moment is that Tony watching that news footage of Janice getting arrested.
Face, bro.
Just the face. I can't believe this shit. Like, I can't believe this dumb shit. Like, this is, when you talk about dumb problems to have, this is the dumbest of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, and my name's getting mentioned and shit. The news staff ain't even taking this shit serious. You can say it was a mafia related hit. Like, stop fucking playing with me, man. Y'all got them making jokes about what I do. All that shit, man. That's just hilarious.
Yeah. My favorite scene is Christopher and Adriana. I loved all that was in that. I just love it. I don't want to spoil anything, but just enjoy these moments with them two together. I enjoy these moments with them two together. And that is our episode.
Come on, man. You a wild dude, man. Come on, bro.
My nigga said I don't want to spoil anything, but just enjoy it.
That is our episode.
Jesus Christ.
That is our episode of Good Earner.
Oh shit, man.
If y'all want to reach out, Good Earner Pod.
Don't be like Michelle. Don't be like Michelle and leave too much.
If y'all want to reach out, Good Earner Pod.
God forbid you love the show and got thoughts. Please don't share them.
All right. If you want to reach out, goodearnerpod.
Mo not gonna read.
gmail.com. If y'all want to email us, if y'all want to reach out on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. Again, don't send your reviews.
He said, "All right, man."
Yeah, we thank y'all for tuning in, and remember, don't forget about it.
Shit.